play in your division. How many times do you say you came up against these guys?
At least 8, because we had to play them in the districts. We made the districts every year. They made it almost every year, so eventually we run into each other. But they look a lot bigger, a lot faster than I remember them being. I think this is their golden generation, as is our golden generation.
Well, as previously stated, the RPI rankings have us at number 1 in single A, Bainbridge at number 2 in double A, which, I mean, the headlines pretty much write themselves there. From a Pirate perspective, this game is not as big for RPI because, of course, with the size of our school, we are technically the underdogs. We won't be punished as much for losing this game. Obviously, winning this game would pretty much solidify our spot at the top, even if the win against Cascade Christian on Thursday didn't, which, by the way, was a huge win for Vashon, a 4-1 victory away at Cascade Christian. And not only did the scoreline, not only was the score gap big, but that win was so emotionally potent for our players because of what happened last year, those 2 devastating losses, first on senior night and then in the district final. They should be coming into this one with some confidence.
Well, I mean, it's obvious to me that Cascade was our game. That was the game of the season. That was going to determine who won it. I look at their division, and I see a couple of teams that aren't too bad. Port Angeles is pretty good, usually. North Kitsap can be good. So I think they've probably played tougher teams than we have. So this will be a real test for us. I think it's just going to be another game.
Tougher teams than we have, though. We played Mercer, we played Royal.
I mean, in the league.
Yeah. Of course.
You know, even I thought Cascade was a pretty good team.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing that second game when we play them in the district, because we are going to meet them in the district final.
Oh, yeah. No, that will be the final. I think the only way it's not them, the Cascade Christian came up against Bellevue Christian before they played us. The score was 5-3.
That's true.
Bellevue Christian, you weren't there for that game. They're just really scrappy.
Yeah.
They come in looking for a fight, even maybe more so than Cascade Christian do.
Really?
It's just all physicality coming from them. And if Cascade Christian could get sucked into that, I could see them maybe losing that, and then we see Bellevue Christian.
Yeah. They were very dangerous, though. I mean, I could see how a game would be. They'd score 5 goals. Again, even against us, they had how many chances to score?
Plenty. I mean, I know they drew a lot of set pieces, and that's often their game plan revolving around set pieces. But their delivery was poor, Cascade Christian.
Yeah, if I was their coach, I'd be spending some time on that, because you can't give those away.
Mm-hmm. Well, for this one, I mean, I think when I spoke to Dara Ken and others at pickup this morning, I said that I thought it was going to be 1-1. Then I watched this Bainbridge team warm up, starting to sweat. And it's not just because this booth is a little cramped. They've got some finishers.
They do.
Man.
We haven't played any. High school isn't like Vashon. You don't have players so comfortable on the ball. Watching this team, they had a lot of people who know how to finish. I mean, they were just taking shots and hitting dimes in the corner. And I'm thinking to myself, well, we better not give them any shots, because this team looks like they know how to finish. In fact, maybe their midfield isn't that great, but their forwards have got to be fabulous, watching what we've seen.
Well, we're an old team. We only have 1 freshman on our roster. They have none. Not a single freshman. I think I see 2 sophomores.
Yeah.
No freshmen, 2 sophomores, and then all upperclassmen.
Well, didn't JT tell us that his youth team, which is the bulk of our team, used to play against the Bainbridge team, and it was the bulk of their team?
Oh, yeah.
So these players know each other, I guess, since they're 8.
I mean, maybe, subconsciously they might know each other.
I don't know. You get to know people after a while, especially when you keep playing them all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think in the last 5 years, pretty much after COVID, that core split up. They went their separate ways. Pack, Washington Premier, some went to Highline, and then moved on to Seattle United.
Yeah.
I mean, and so they end up playing different teams than Bainbridge, some of them in the ECNL sphere, RCL, or whatever.
Well, some of these players, it's a pretty easy drive across the ferry to play for Seattle United, play for Crossfire.
Yeah.
Even some kids go to East Side, although I don't.
That's long.
That's a long drive.
Long.
That's an extra drive.
I guess, yeah, the ferry does go straight to downtown,
It
which
does.
is pretty convenient, but yeah, East Side seems long. But Crossfire,
Yeah. Well, there are players who played in Alaska who come to play the Crossfire.
Sure.
I mean, so, if you're a good player, you go wherever you can get the game, you get the exposure. So I remember playing against Squim, who was in this league, and they had 3 players. Two were playing for Crossfire, one was playing for Washington Premier.
Mm-hmm.
That was their big year. That was their golden year. We ended up playing them in the district championship. They didn't do much. They only had 3 players.
Right.
But I will tell you what, I talked to the kids, going to Crossfire. I said, what are you doing going to Crossfire? And they just went, hey, you got to play with the best.
Yeah.
You want to be the best.
Squim, though, that's up by Port Angeles, right?
That's a long.
That is really long.
That's a long.
You got to go to school, too.
I know. Well, on Crossfire. Here's the secret on Crossfire. After that, they never allowed anybody to play high school sports.
Yeah.
So this is obviously probably the reason that Squim hasn't been anything for a long time. I haven't seen Squim in the state tournament even. I haven't seen Bainbridge in the state tournament, to be honest.
No, it seems like I don't really remember them from last year. I pay attention obviously to 1A, and then I keep one eye on 3A.
Yeah.
Normally that's my favorite.
You like 3A?
I like 3A. I like the Shorewood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I played on a team where I would play with some of the guys that went to Shorewood.
Oh, really?
A few years ago, yeah.
Now I know the coach of the Shore Crest.
It might be Shorecrest. It's one of those. It's the Shoreline.
The Shoreline is gone. That's Shoreline Stadium.
No, I know, but like a Shoreline neighborhood.
Yes, it is. Shorewood is the new, bigger school, and Shorecrest is the older school that they've rebuilt. But they've had some really good. They had a great coach. In fact, the guy who ran Starfire, he was also the coach at Shorecrest, so he was recruiting, I think, too. Look at this.
Yeah, they got a whole walkout going here. Everybody's lined up facing the crowd. Bit of a weak crowd, if I must say. I mean, obviously you can't really fault Vashon people for not turning up to Bainbridge Island, but you'd think Bainbridge would get a real crowd out here. I mean, compare this to what we had on Thursday.
Yeah, that was senior night at a private school.
Yes, but even still, it's Saturday night.
It's true.
Saturday night, I mean, people aren't working.
Yeah, well, I thought it was great. The atmosphere, of course, I think these are much bigger stands.
They're bigger. They're bigger, but I'm looking down, and it doesn't seem not exactly jam-packed.
Yeah. I see a few pirate hats, so we've got a lot.
Oh, no, we got some fans. We got some fans. We sat ourselves smack in the middle of the stands. We weren't thinking, we'll do an away section. No, we were cutting their fans in half.
That's right. Well, as far as the game's concerned, they're big. They're the first team we played where I think the bulk of the players seem to be bigger than we are, at least our size.
And look at number 15. Who's number 15? Eli Dugan. That kid is, I can't really tell. I couldn't estimate his height from here, but if you compare him to Gavin, he's got to be at least 6'2".
Yeah.
That kid is 6'5".
Yeah, they've got a few. They got a string of, it looks like 3 or 4 players.
15 as well. Who's that? Howard Howlett the fourth. Oh, no.
There's Howard. He's an 11th grader. So he's going to be
boy. Howard Howlett the fourth. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that on the play-by-play. He's just Howlett.
Howlett.
I can't do the fourth. I wonder how many Howard Howletts are in the stands right now. How many generations of Howard?
1 or 2.
Yeah.
I don't think number 1's here, though.
No.
That would be a long one.
No, he might be looking down on number 4.
Yeah. But this is going to be fun to play. I mean, our league is not the best league.
No.
And we've played so many good teams this year. It's been really fun.
No, we've gotten lucky.
Yeah.
And the injuries haven't been that bad.
Well, we are seniors.
Yeah.
I think we got to remember that when you're. I thought we were a fantastic team 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was mainly freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah.
They played terrific, but the chance of playing a Mercer Island or a team like this,
no, that wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have been close. But as they've gotten bigger, we're the team that's kind of muscling people around.
Sure. Well, I don't think that'll be the case tonight.
No, it will not.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking. This roster is just pretty much all upperclassmen, and the sophomores, I doubt they'll play.
No.
Unless it's this wonder kid. I heard a rumor about a potential United States Youth National player on Bainbridge. I heard that he broke his foot, but then when I was talking to somebody here who was helping me out with the roster, he said, "Oh yeah, he didn't break his foot. He's fine. Like, I identified him as the youth national player, as a really good player, and he identified him as number 9, Cruz Pilon.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he's got.
He looked pretty good in warm-up. You know, I hate to talk about warm-up because I know there are people who aren't around athletes a lot. And you go, well, how can you tell anything from a warm-up? Well, I spent, I don't know how many years being an evaluator, which means I'd go to the Olympic development program, and I would have a clipboard, and I would have to look at players. And we look at everything, the way a player walks on the field, everything they do. And when you see things, it's kind of hard to explain, but things are really obvious very quickly, just by the way players move. And they have a few players that I wouldn't want them to have a shot around the goal because they look pretty darn scary.
Now, I'm curious, this is a game environment, so this is an east to west field.
Yes.
And it is, 7:15 p.m. So this is a game where the coin toss matters.
It does. You don't want to be looking in the sun.
No.
Yeah.
So you're going to want this western side. So we'll see which one we got, especially with Marshall Wade in goal. I mean, he's played great in every game he's played.
Yeah.
He ain't a goalkeeper, really. I mean, he's going to have to be one, but in experience, at least, I mean, he's a golf player.
Well, to be honest, I mean, as tough and as semi-dangerous as Cascade looked, they didn't have a real finisher. No. This team has people who look extremely dangerous in the penalty area.
It looks like we won the toss.
Yes.
Looks like we won the toss. So the little victories.
Yes.
First victory goes to Vashon. Marshall Wade will not be looking into the sun in the first half, and the hope is obviously that the sun dips below the tree line by the time we kick off the second half.
I think it will just be at the top of the tree.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close.
So he might get blasted for the first 10 minutes, and then it'll go down.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good break. See, this is something to look forward to.
So we look at Vashon's lineup here. Obviously, Marshall Wade in goal. Caden Miller returns after being absent against Cascade Christian due to missing class. He starts next to, of course, Gavin Keenan. The Cobb-Migater brothers are back as fullbacks for the first time in what feels like a while. Midfield 3 for Vashon is McLean, Thompson, and Tegenfeld-Foman. Isaac Newcomb starts out at left wing for, again, the first time it feels like in a while. He's been deputizing as fullback recently. Mason Haynes played out of his mind against Cascade Christian. He starts on the right, and through the middle to get things going is Pierce Fowler. And it's Bainbridge who get us underway in their, in my opinion, lovely yellow and blue kit, kicking, as previously mentioned, into the sun from right to left. Vashon in their change strips of white from left to right, and it is an early outlet ball down the right-hand side for Bainbridge. That is well ahead of the runner and easy for Marshall Wade to collect.
Interesting. They didn't try and go through the midfield. They tried to bypass everything.
Quick long ball. Marshall Wade leaves it for Gavin Keenan. He says, I could do a long ball too, and sends it down the left. I think he wanted Isaac Newcomb. He got shielded off by the right fullback of Bainbridge, picked up by the right center back, who sends it back to the touch of the Bainbridge Island goalkeeper. That is Cooper Harrington. And it's swung to the center back on the near side. Magnus Hauge, the captain, pushing things up for Bainbridge. Vashon settling into a mid-block. Hauge stood up by Haynes, and he will swing it to his center back partner over on the right. He goes right back to Hauge as space has opened up a little bit for the Bainbridge senior. Hauge will look to go long, this time down the left-hand side. Pylan's going to take an interest, and Keenan plays it safe, sending it out with the outside of his left boot for a Spartans throw-in.
This is very interesting. They passed the ball around the back, but they're passing it between two players. As soon as those two players start passing it back and forth, the other defenders actually went up into the midfield. So they're pushing forward with everything.
So before this, our JV team played their JVC team, and they had a player on that team who did the throw-in where he rolls off the ball and then launches it. So we'll see what they got here. The throw-in is going to be taken by Marcus Alonso, not the Marcus Alonso, thank God. It's won back by Vashon momentarily. It was Mason Haynes coming in to do the dirty work combined with Felix Cobb-Migater. Last touch came off of a Spartan, so Vashon will have their first goal kick of the evening. 2 minutes in. Great games here at Bainbridge. Top-ranked team in 1A, top-ranked team in 2A. Thanks for being with us on KVHH LP 101.9 FM Voice of Vashon or voiceofvashon.org as Oscar Cobb-Migater with his first touch of the match undersells a pass to Isaac Newcomb over on the left. It falls in the midfield before sent forward by Avery McLean. Lovely first touch off the chest of Pierce Fowler, and he'll leave it for Felix Cobb-Migater on the near side. He looks for Mason Haynes early, who completely gets the better of the Bainbridge left back. That was Marcus Alonso, who Mason Haynes turned like a top, went down under contact, and won a free kick.
Nice spin move. Only problem is he's let the other team know he's going to do a spin move.
Yeah, but he's got more in his bag than that.
Yeah.
He's certainly... you certainly would not describe Mason Haynes as a one-trick pony. So this free kick is 10 yards inside the Bainbridge half over to the right. It is lofted in by Gavin Keenan, and somehow from that range, he almost got too much on it. In fact, he did get too much on it. Close second felt Bowman tried to keep it in with his head. It will go out for a goal kick. He's really got some power on that left foot.
He can hit it, but, the problem is he hit it right into the sun. So the players receiving it had to look into the... Oops.
Dangerous pass by Bainbridge, well dealt with by Howard Howlett, the fourth. Last time I'm saying that. Sent back to the left back, Alonzo. Now here's Hauge. Over to the goalkeeper, Harrington. He puts his foot on it, swings it long. That's overhit. He was looking for his right back, Mika Troyan. It goes out for a Pirate throw.
It's very interesting to watch their defense. Like I said, as soon as those two center guys get the ball, the other outside midfield back push into the midfield. So they've got 7 guys in the midfield.
But it seems like their center midfield players are essentially a non-factor in possession. And again, look, they're going long. This will be the first time that Caden Miller is tested. And Cruz Pyland, man, that guy is fast. Caden Miller just barely got there with about a 5-yard head start. But once he got there, he turned away from Pyland very well. Obviously, Miller is an expert under pressure, so calm and collected. Felix Kobageter touching it towards Tegenfeld-Foman, who I think he thought was going to be there. He didn't quite check his shoulder. Tegenfeld-Foman went shoulder to shoulder with the center mid, Alden Hauge, not to be confused with his brother, Magnus. And the throw-in goes the way of Bainbridge, taken down the line by Alonzo. Across comes Avery McLean to clear it away for another Bainbridge throw.
I'll tell you, they're very quick to the ball. Their starting position is a lot better than anybody we've seen so far, and that means that when we've got the ball, their defenders are in a starting position ready to get or intercept anything, and it's been really impressive, actually. I haven't seen that this year with anybody.
Alonzo takes the throw in down the left-hand side. He gets a decent return ball from Will Trevorton in midfield. Haynes again clattered, goes down and wins another free kick for Vashon deep inside their own half over on the near side where the majority of play is being had.
Big kids. There's a lot of hard hitting each other.
Keenan puts his foot under and finds a lovely ball into Fowler. First touch, though, not as good as the one from earlier. Cleared away by the right center back, McCallum, in the direction of Felix Kobageter. Across comes Cruz Pyland. Felix Kobageter sliding to ground. We know he doesn't mind doing that, showing Pyland what he's all about. It will be a free kick for the Spartans, but no yellow card for Kobageter, but a bit of a talking to from the center referee.
Well, Pyland, the star player, I'm going to say that right now, he's pretty quick. I think if he gets anywhere into space, I would not want to be trying to stop him because he can fly.
This will be Bainbridge's first opportunity to get this into the box. The right center back, McCallum, curls one in towards the near post. Not bad. Built by Wade. Can they get it clear? Yes, they can. It was Tegenfeld-Foman who came across. And Bainbridge's first real sight of goal goes begging. Throw-in taken by Husseini for Bainbridge. Across comes Thompson to clear. Hasn't seen much of the ball in the opening 5 minutes. Lewis Thompson. And again on this near side, Bainbridge will have a throw-in, or they thought they did. According to the referee, the last touch came off of a Spartan. The Pirates will take it. Haynes checks it into Tegenfeld-Foman, who I don't think was quite ready for it. Tried to get it back into Haynes. It was won initially by Bainbridge. Thompson, spending too much time on the ball in midfield. Picked up by the center midfielder, Eli Dugan. Forward in the direction of Pyland. Well read and step two by Caden Miller. Good turn to escape the challenge of one Bainbridge midfielder. And now Mason Haynes can look to swing it to the backside. He wants Newcomb. He's dropped it in a good area for Newcomb to run onto. He was just beaten to it by Troyan, the right back. And the last touch came off of Newcomb. Bainbridge have a throw.
This game has a little bit of the Mercer Island feel to it.
It does. It does. It feels like both teams are frightened of each other.
Yeah. And I'm kind of afraid of their speed.
That's a good play over the top. Here goes Husseini down the right-hand side, but showed too much of it to Gavin Keenan with that second touch. He, in turn, though, undersells Oscar Kobageter. And the last touch came off of a Pirate, who, according to the assistant, who is about a mile closer to the ball than we are. So I'm gonna go with him on that one.
It doesn't pay to argue with somebody who's 10 feet from the ball.
Yeah, not to mention one that I don't think can hear me. Long throw and taken by the Spartans. Keenan was the first to it. Across comes Isaac Newcomb. Tried to flick it into the path of McLean. One back by Bainbridge. Illegally, however. Use of the hand called on the Spartans. And Vashon have another free kick.
Yeah, this game looks interesting. Like I said, it reminds me of the Mercer game because they're throwing everything forward and we're dropping everything back, if you know what I mean. So it's like the game's being molded a little bit into this idea that you're going to have to defend us.
Keenan swings it over to the near side. Well done by Haynes to climb the ladder and win the header in the direction of Fowler, who is testing Hauge, the left center back, and Fowler's pressure is enough to force Hauge to clear it out. Fourth thrown on the near side for the Pirates, deep in Bainbridge's half, level with the 18-yard box, quickly taken by Haynes and Tegenfeld-Foman. Gets it back to Haynes, tried to pick out Thompson. It falls to Tegenfeld-Foman, who tried it on the volley with his left foot. Nowhere near goal, but the first real look for Vashon.
It was. The sun is in the goalkeeper's eye. It's not a bad idea to hit a ball early, aim it high, maybe drop it over his head, because it looked like Quill was trying to hit it with some topspin, like in a tennis match, and drop it over the goalkeeper's head.
Yeah, it was a good try from Tegenfeld-Foman, just couldn't get the technique on it with his weaker left foot. That's a bad pass by Hauge, picked up in the midfield, left by Fowler. Can Haynes get to it? It's Haynes and Fowler fighting Hauge for it. Haynes goes down near the corner flag. What will the referee give? No free kick, but it will be a corner for Vashon, their first of the game.
I think he's giving.
No, now he's giving. I mean, in essence, it's the same thing. It's a free kick right by the corner flag. It doesn't make much of a difference.
Oh, you know, a yard, a couple yards.
Well, this is a couple yards in.
It gets there quicker.
It will be a free kick that is very close to a corner for Vashon. Haynes stands over it, which is a little bit odd. Normally you'd think someone with a left foot, although the only left footer we have is Keenan, and I think we want him in the box. Played in by Haynes to the back post. He wanted Thompson. Blue and yellow shirt was the first two, and then Vashon will have to settle for a throw on the far side at about the 20-yard line, so we'll call that 30 yards away from the Bainbridge goal. Lost it in by Keenan. Header won initially by Tegenfeld-Foman, however, in the wrong direction. Picked up in midfield by Howlett for Bainbridge, who just whacks it in a general direction. I think he thought the run of Husseini was coming. It didn't, and Vashon have a throw.
Vashon's pushing up. We're putting some pressure. Again, we're not playing quote-unquote Vashon soccer, but we're fighting for every ball.
No, but this season, Vashon soccer has a different meaning every game.
It does.
Oh, that's a dangerous ball from Tegenfeld-Foman. Pyland is there, but as is Caden Miller, who started off the game very well. Sent forward by the Spartans. Cobb Migater in a 1v1 situation here against Howlett, and Felix Cobb Migater does very well to get the wrong side of Howlett and draw a free kick. Really good defending by the sophomore right back of the Pirates.
He's going to give him a yellow card.
Is he going to give him a yellow card? Yes, he is. Interesting. I wonder what it must have been for words. It must have been for words, because that was not a yellow card offense. But that is an early yellow card for Howard Howlett. Won't be too much of an issue for Bainbridge. An early yellow card for an attacker isn't the worst thing in the world. Not as if it was the center back.
No, it's, yeah, he may have said something. It was a little retaliatory.
And that pretty much always gets called. Free kick sent long by Keenan in the direction of Thompson. Header one in the midfield by Dugan. And he gets the seconds as well. Dugan flicks it up away from Thompson. Header one by Tegenfeld-Foman. Haynes fielding off the fullback Alonso and finding the overlapping run of Tegenfeld-Foman. He's away from Alonso, but well read, coming across by Alden Hauge. And Vashon have a throw in near side, deep in Bainbridge territory.
They're leaving one player up, and he is their star player with wheels. Is that him? It looks like him.
I think that is 9 on his back. Yeah, it is Highland.
So that is obviously a choice that they probably get away with some. Remember the clearance we saw earlier where it looked like the player just hit it into no space? I got a feeling they do that a lot.
Vashon's backs aren't the slowest in the world, though, so we'll see how that works out. Keenan, though, migrating forward to send in a long throw. Few options in the box, nobody really crashing as of yet. Now here comes the run, launched in by Keenan. He looks for Tegenfeld-Foman, who missed it, cleared away by Bainbridge. Felix Kopp-Migater comes across to win it back, sending it in the direction of Haynes on the right-hand side, who's just inside the 18-yard box, now forced wide by 2 Bainbridge defenders. Haynes is swarmed. Still going, though, Mason Haynes. You know he won't stop fighting against 2 Bainbridge defenders. The ball went out of bounds, and we'll see where they give the throw. Last touch came off of Haynes, so Bainbridge will get the restart just on the near side by the corner flag, taken quickly by Alonso into Hauge, who touches it onto his left foot and sends it long. Judged well by Keenan. He nods it down into space. I think he wanted to find McLean. He showed too much of the ball, though. Well done by Isaac Newcomb, tracking back to win the tackle. Tegenfeld-Foman couldn't make the most of it as Kopp-Migater comes across. Man, he wants a battle. He saw the substitute for Howlett. That was Isaiah Drovedal. Kopp-Migater came all the way over, and now he's going to get booked. So that is the inexperience from Felix Kopp-Migater showing right there.
Well, the player is interesting because they were coming toward us, and the player didn't look at the ball. He looked at Felix, gave him a shoulder charge. Felix came back at him. Referee saw the response as opposed to the player wasn't even looking at the ball. But they always see the reaction.
And that's tough.
That
That's
is
tough.
It's hard.
Especially for someone like Cobb Migeter who loves to put a challenge in.
Yeah.
That's going to be difficult to play the remaining 70 minutes of this game on a yellow. For now, Shrestha comes on to replace him, moving Newcomb back to right back. Shrestha will play over on the left-hand side of the attack. Sent long by McCallum, the center back. This time it's Miller to win the header into midfield. Second ball picked up by the center defensive midfielder, Dugan. Now Drovedal for Bainbridge. Into Hauge, who sends it down the right-hand side looking for Hussein, but way too close to Wade, who got there a good 10 yards ahead of Hussein. Rolls it out to Oscar Cobb Migeter on the left-hand side. Hasn't seen too much of the ball, Cobb Migeter. Gets it into Fowler, who shields McCallum off the ball well. And eventually it is the center back, Brody McCallum, who tackles Fowler off the ball and Vashon have a throw.
He's putting a lot of balls in for Hussein down that right side. I haven't seen the speed, and he's certainly not going to outrun Cobb. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So I don't know why they're doing that.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have the same pace as Pyland going through the middle.
No.
Right winger Zain Husseini. Free kick sent long. Oh, no, they've given a free kick. Sent long by Keenan in towards Haynes, who would have been hard-pressed to win that header. Cleared away by Bainbridge. It will take a hop before landing to Cruz Pyland. Flicks on a good header for his runner, who's moving down the middle. Now it's back with Pyland over on the left-hand side, trying to turn away from Miller. He does very well to strip the ball from Cruz Pyland. Tegenfeld-Foman, though, taking a bit too much of a risk with the ball in midfield, and then sliding in to make the challenge is Will Treverton for Bainbridge. And again, the referee's blown his whistle, and I think it will once more go the way of Vashon.
Yeah, I think he played the ball on the ground.
A lot of free kicks in this game,
yeah.
similar to the Cascade Christian one.
Yeah.
This time, though, Keenan will take it short into McLean. He goes forward into Shrestha. Now here's Thompson in midfield. He needs to get on the ball more. Thompson squares it for Tegenfeld-Foman inside the center circle. Didn't read the pressure around him. Now Drovedal can go the other way. He's got Pyland on the left-hand side who can really stretch his legs against Caden Miller. Pyland looks to cut inside. Again, Miller's dealt with him. Pyland goes to ground and again will get blown up for a free kick. And that is really, really well done by Caden Miller. Shut him down completely.
Spectacular. Great. The defense, one-on-one defending today is just out of this world.
They really step up.
Oh,
These
my
two
gosh.
center backs, they step up to a challenge.
They really have to, and they're doing it.
Keenan elects to not go short with this one. Lofts it long in the direction of Fowler, who stayed on for 15 minutes. Ball is with McCallum now for Bainbridge, floating it. Again, looking for Husseini down the right-hand side. Keenan wins that header easily. Second ball, won in midfield by Treverton. Now Cobb Migeter winning 2 headers in a row. Treverton beaten to it by Tegenfeld-Foman, who loses out in the midfield to Dugan.
I like Dugan.
Yeah, he's not a bad center defensive midfielder. He reminds me of the guy on Royal.
Yeah.
That Anderson kid.
Yeah, he's real big, and he's a dominating presence.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of a combination ball winner and distributor. And we don't have sixes like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have possession-type sixes.
Yep.
This guy is just a ball winner.
Here's Pyland for Bainbridge, looking for Husseini over the top, who this time gets there ahead of Cobb Migeter. Looks to chip Wade and got way too much on it. That one hammered skyward and nearly bounced over the fence. Goal kick coming for Vashon. Although that is the first time that a through ball to Husseini has almost come off.
Yeah. They're obviously trying to do it. I mean, they started the game hitting it down that right side.
Miller launches one into Thompson, who gets beaten to it by Dugan. Now here's Pyland, flicks it up and tries to pick out Drovedal. That would have taken real technique. Cleared away momentarily by Vashon, won by Tegenfeld-Foman, who takes no chances, clears it away. Good step, though, by Hauge to send it right back into the mixer. Keenan wins the header. Tegenfeld-Foman the second time, but he's headed it right into a Bainbridge attacker. Giving it back now to the center midfielder, Alden Hauge. Now here's Treverton for Bainbridge. Floating a decent ball in towards the back post, and Wade gets there ahead of Husseini, who knocks the ball out of his hand. And the referee will give a free kick. Husseini seems to have come off the worst there. Wade is clutching his arm, and now he has gone down Marshall Wade. It didn't look that bad initially, but both Husseini and Wade are down. And that would be a real concern for Vashon if yet another goalkeeper is rendered unable to play.
You know, I know this is going to sound strange. I actually don't think that forward is hurt. I think he went in with his foot up, hit the goalkeeper, and now he's acting hurt. Well, so that he'll get.
He didn't get out of it. He got a yellow, Husseini.
There you go. I think that's what he was trying to do, because it wasn't a. I mean, Marshall's a big guy, but they didn't collide like that. It was that guy's ankle foot in Marshall's hand.
Yeah.
So a hand is a lot worse than a foot.
Yeah.
For a goalkeeper here.
Yeah, hopefully he's still on his back. Hopefully it's just a really painful one and not a serious deep-lying injury. Dara Kennan's come across to tend to him for the moment. Yeah, we'll see if, nope. It looks like August Kampmeyer is putting the keeper kit on for the moment, but Wade is back to his feet and looks like he will be good to continue.
You know, when you're a goalkeeper, having a finger jammed when you're not used to it.
Oh, yeah. I jammed my finger warming up as a keeper. You see how it bends?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I got out of playing keeper that day.
Did you?
Yeah.
A souvenir.
Yep. So Wade's back to his feet. 20 minutes in, almost 20 minutes in, 0-0 between the top-ranked team in 1A, Vashon, and the top-ranked team in 2A, Bainbridge. Thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM, Voice of Vashon, or voiceofvashon.org. One thing I'm seeing for Vashon, our midfielders have to step it up. They're losing the ball every time they get on it. They're getting dominated in there.
Well, they're very good at second balls.
That is a lovely ball, though, by Isaac Newcomb to pick out Shrestha. Turns away from the first challenge, finds it into Thompson, who I think forced the pass a little bit. Couldn't pick out Fowler or Haynes. One back by Bainbridge. Here's the center back, Hauge. Now across to Marcus Alonso, the left back, who took his eye off the ball and let it roll out for a Vashon throw-in.
Yeah, they're very attacking. Their outside backs are just flying up the side. As soon as the center back gets the ball, they just desert it and figure it's 2-1 against who's up front there? That's Fowler. Is that Fowler up front now? I think so. Okay.
Wrong throw-in sent by Keenan. Haynes miscontrols it with his right thigh. Now it's Bainbridge's turn for a throw-in, and this will be the first substitution for Vashon, not forced by a yellow card. Cobb Migater does come back in. Looks like he's replacing Isaac Newcomb. Cobb Migater will come back to right back. The other substitution is Finn Kennan replacing Pierce Fowler, so there'll be a little bit of reworking here. So we'll see what they do. Kennan seems to be having some instructions for Tegenfeld-Foman, so what I imagine is, yes, seems to be the case. Lewis Thompson has moved to center forward. Tegenfeld-Foman pushed higher into more of a 10, and the sixes are now Kennan and McLean, and I think that's for the better because Tegenfeld-Foman was getting bullied in that midfield role.
Well, they're a very attacking side. There's no question if you watch, they're all about the goals, and you can see they're throwing everything forward. They have a lot of speed. It's a little chaotic, to be honest, in their attack. It doesn't, I'm not seeing a very structured type thing. It's like they're just making stuff up all the time.
Good hold-up play by Thompson to find Haynes on the right-hand side in a 1v1 situation against Hauge, who he dusts and then draws the free kick off of. And the referee will have a decision to make about a booking. I doubt he will do it. No, but it will be a free kick for Vashon just outside the 18-yard box over on the right-hand side, so definitely not a shooting angle. But really well done by Mason Haynes. I mean, he knew what he was going to do that whole time. Just a little shoulder drop, a little bit of a step over, drew the tackle out of Hauge, got the ball past him, went down.
Well, I think the Cascade, there was a couple things we learned in the Cascade game, and one of them was our defenders have to defend really well, and that Mason is going to have to do a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to be a difference maker. And I think that mindset may have come into the team and to him.
So I think the spot they've given the free kick in is a little bit favorable. I don't quite think that's where it was. It'll be Shrestha standing over it with his left. He's floated not his best towards the back post. Keenan couldn't get there. He will be able to keep it in. Maybe he can win a corner. No, he can't. Cleared away by Bainbridge. Caden Miller will come across to challenge Cruz Pyland. That one will go out for what should be a Vashon throw unless the assistant has put his flag up for a free kick, and I think he has, according to him. Miller getting a little too handsy with Pyland. But, again, Caden Miller doing enough. That is a fine place to give away a foul at the halfway line. Totally smart. Fine. Very smart from Miller, who's been probably our best player over these first 20 minutes, him and Haynes. As it's sent across to the right center back, McCallum for Bainbridge.
See, now they have two defenders.
Mm-hmm. Everyone else pushing up. But then one fullback will check back to receive. That's dangerous in midfield for Trevorton. Almost let McLean come across and get there. He's just able to get it back to McCallum, who plays it back to Trevorton into space. Drove on Trevorton, getting a little bit confused in possession. Picked up for the moment by Shrestha. One back by the center midfielder, Dugan. Now sent, what a ball. What a ball on the right-hand side for Goodwin, but well read by Marshall Wade to sprint off his line and get there ahead of the left winger, Dana Goodwin.
Great job by Marshall. Goodwin was late. He should have gone a little earlier, but
Dangerous from Wade, not giving Miller a lot of options, but he's able to pick out Cobb Migater, who tried to go down the line for Haynes, who did his best to try and keep it in, but couldn't do so. Out for Bainbridge throwing on the near side, about 20 yards inside the Pirate defensive half.
There's not a lot of time out here.
No.
I mean, Vashon's getting no time.
No. The time that Bainbridge get is when they hold it with their center backs as the header's flicked on into the box. They were looking for Drovedal. Keenan saw that all the way. Cleared. Sent back in by Bainbridge. Again, there's Keenan to nod it away. Again back in, this time by Dugan. Cobb Migater away, not once but twice. Now here's Haynes, chesting it in the direction of Thompson. Beaten to it by Dugan, who goes down from Thompson. Wants a free kick. Referee's having nothing of it, and it will roll out for a Vashon throw.
Dugan's a very important player on their team.
He's crucial for them. And you can see it's called what a turn by Tegenfeld-Foman, finally coming alive in midfield. Close Tegenfeld-Foman, not once but twice getting away from pressure. Now Haynes. Yeah, they really love a high press, Bainbridge. Haynes goes back to Cobb Migater. Now here's McLean. He doesn't mind the pressure. Avery McLean goes back into Felix Cobb Migater, who takes a touch and then sends it long. I think he wanted the run to come from Thompson. It didn't. Picked up by McCallum, and it goes back to Cooper Harrington, his first touch in a while, the Bainbridge keeper. Harrington switches a lovely ball to the near side, picked up by Goodwin, controls it with his thigh. Then Cruz Pylan plays an exquisite ball with the back of his foot, but then Goodwin with that first touch showed too much of it to Keenan, who did very well on the sprint to get across and clear it out for a Bainbridge throw.
Good play by them, but Keenan did a great job. It's not as easy as he made it look. I mean, he was flying across there. And these players are very tricky. They're not afraid to do little flicks. So when you come in hard like that, you're really taking a chance. And he did a great job.
That was great from Pylan.
Yeah.
Another couple of subs, 3 subs this time from Vashon. Haynes, Thompson, and Tressa coming off for Newcomb, Kampmeyer, and one other who I haven't seen yet is Connaught. Long throw and taken by Bainbridge, headed upward by Keenan, misjudged by Miller. Then Cobb Migater's there to get it away, sent back in by Bainbridge. Cobb Migater again down. Now Miller gets it away into Tegenfeld-Foman, who takes the first touch into space and then sends it long into Kampmeyer, who's got just Newcomb with him. It's a 2-on-3 for now, but Kampmeyer's got a lot of space to operate on the right-hand side. More numbers coming forward for Vashon. Now Kampmeyer measures and fires. Maybe not the best decision. It smacks off the defender, Hauge. Then there's Dugan to come across and send it long over to Robertson on the near side. He's beaten to it by Oscar Cobb Migater. Picked back up by McLean. Now Finn Kennan spending too much time on the ball, losing out to Pylan. Sent back to the center back McCallum by Alden Hauge. Now here's the other Hauge, Magnus. Back to McCallum. He will send it long, missed by Keenan, but that one will roll easily into the arms of Marshall Wade. Drove to the right winger, had really no chance with that one. Wade will play it short into Keenan. Again will go long, looking to swing it into Newcomb this time, who got his touch wrong. Showed too much to McCallum. He sends it into the midfield, and Kennan's penalized for a challenge on Alden Hauge. Bainbridge will have a free kick 15 yards inside the Pirate defensive half over on the right-hand side.
Boy, I hope we get a free kick from there against this goalkeeper. Look, he can't even watch the play. He has to have his hands up.
You can see the shadows are stretching a little bit with 15 minutes to go in this first half. Still zeros on the board. McCallum floats one towards the back post. Not a bad ball, but in the end it's over everybody and out for a goal kick. Nobody was making a back post run.
I know. It's very interesting. Maybe, the problem is, I don't know how many teams they played as fast as we are. And we have the skills to handle almost anything you throw at our defenders.
Here's Keenan. Pressure coming from Droverton, and it gets the better of Keenan. Good sliding challenge by Finn Kennan because Hauge was lurking. He tackles it out for a Bainbridge throw on the far side, taken into Alden Hauge, up against Connaught, who tackles him down, legal. Tegenfeld-Foman then playing it back into the zone of McCallum. Now Kennan losing out to McCallum, picked back up by McLean. Now Connaught turning away from pressure and going down under contact. That will be a free kick for Vashon, and they will have a chance to alleviate the pressure, or I thought it was going to be a free kick. The assistant put his flag up. The referee said play on. Maybe to the benefit of Vashon, as now here's Tegenfeld-Foman in space, waiting for the run of Kampmeyer to come, just underhit his through ball, forcing defense out of the new right center back, Orion LePlaire. And Vashon have a throw in on the far side.
The referee has overruled the line people a couple times now.
Here's McLean, flipping on the ball, and now Pylan can go the other way. Keenan steps up to challenge him and shuts that counterattack down before it really gets going. Cleared out by Gavin Keenan for the Bainbridge throw, and these Vashon center backs have stepped up in a major way.
They have. They've done a great job. I mean, this team is fast, and they're not afraid.
Harrington,
Okay?
looking to test Cobb Migater, the fullback, who had time to bring it down. Nobody told him, though. Cleared into the midfield by Cobb Migater, one ahead of Kennan by Dugan. Now Alonzo into Goodwin, the left winger, up against Cobb Migater, who shields him. He's got to be careful, though. Cobb Migater's on a yellow. Felix Cobb Migater, that is. Still going Goodwin. Eventually outlets the center midfielder for Bainbridge, who flicks it to Pylan towards the back post. His back heel is into the path of Trevorton, who goes down and then flicks it, takes it towards the back post. It came off of the football crossbar and out for a goal kick.
I think he was trying to cross it. Just couldn't get his foot around it. It was chasing it.
No, I don't think Marshall Wade's really the goalkeeper you want to try to chip.
No. Not into the goal.
No.
I mean, you can always chip it in front of the goal and hope you catch him in between.
Keenan's long ball didn't make it off the ground. Kampmeyer, though, doing what he can on the ground, tried to pick out Tegan Felt-Foman. It only goes back to the center back, Haugen. Now LeBar, able to turn away from Tegan Felt-Foman and feed it into the checking run of Highland, who loses out. Now here's McLean, forward into Newcomb, who hasn't really got going in this game. Isaac Newcomb tries to turn out of the pressure, can't spin and pick out McLean. One back by Trevorton. Now Dugan into Pylan, undersold by Pylan. Tegan Felt-Foman wins it back. Now Kampmeyer, playing it into the space where he wanted Isaac Newcomb, but Newcomb's pressure is enough to win it for the moment for Vashon. He gives it back to McLean. Preemptive sliding challenge by Bainbridge, and a decent long ball attempted. Wade steps up and for the first time uses his feet to clear it away. Will they be able to keep it in? No, they won't, but let's see what the referee's blown up for. Nope. Just couldn't be kept in by Connaught on the far side. Throw and taken quickly by Bainbridge.
I think Bainbridge is just used to scoring a little easier than this.
Yep.
They're starting to get to the point where they want to just serve it in here and get the game over with. You know what I mean?
But it would do them all to be patient because their midfield is better than ours.
I think so. That's what I was saying. I think they're bypassing their midfield, and they just need to move the ball around, create those spaces, but it looks like they're being impatient. They're going, I'm just going to send this over.
And it was a little bit like what happened with Mercer. They were also impatient for no reason. They were technically a better team than us. As McLean plays a decently shaped ball down the left-hand side, but Connaught is nowhere to be found, the left winger. Probably should have been there, and you can see Thompson on the touchline preparing to come back in for Vashon. See how they rework the formation with his entrance. Trevorton. Clever turn to get it to Pyland. First time back to Trevorton. Now here comes Goodwin. He's onside down the left-hand side. Got one running with him towards the back post. Plays it towards him. Not cleared by Oscar Cobb Migater, but the first touch from Trovedahl is that. Cleared only as far as Pyland, whose shot is blocked by Miller. Still not cleared. Trovedahl leaving it in the direction of the center midfielder, Shep Horwitz. Cleared away by Vashon, but then sent right back in by Bainbridge. Goodwin, did he keep it in on the near side? No, he didn't. That will be a throw-in for Vashon.
That Pyland is quick. He got the ball in. Weird bounce. Got his foot on it. It was a wonderful block. Again, the defense is just spectacular so far.
But how long can they keep this up, do you think?
Well, that's the problem. You get tired, and then you stop being sure of what you're going to do because it's kind of chaotic back there, and that's the problem.
Feels like Bainbridge have somewhat grown into this game. Vashon will be looking at that first half clock. At the minute, it shows 9. Thompson has come in replacing McLean. He's done well in midfield. Tried to outlet Newcomb down the right-hand side. Just a little bit overhit. Cleared away by Hauge. Cobb Migater wins the initial header, but it's with Trevorton in midfield. He feels the pressure from Thompson and then sends it back to the center back, Hauge. Back into Trevorton. Bit of a lazy first touch from him, and then he goes down from behind. A bit of a push by Isaac Newcomb, and Bainbridge have a free kick all the way on the near side, 15 yards inside the Pirate half.
Yeah, what's happening now is the game has been moved into the middle front third for them. You know what I mean? It's they're not in our penalty area yet, but they're pushing the game into that area. So it's like a keep-away game just outside the penalty area.
Sent by McCallum. It's a floater towards the near post, headed upwards by Miller, not cleared totally by Vashon. It's Lulelo who gets his foot on it and sends it well over the crossbar and out for a goal kick.
You know, they're very quick on their, like I said, their starting position is really good. I mean, second balls are eventually going to come back and bite us. We're going to have to do a little bit of tracking in there to make sure, but we're doing good. We're putting pressure on the ball immediately. I like that.
Keenan Pressured by Goodwin, just barely gets away from it, and then squares a half-hearted pass into Thompson. Lulela wins it. Now on the right-hand side, here's Rovedal. Back to Horwitz. Across comes Tegenfeld Bowman. His tackle is enough to put Horwitz off. The ball found its way to Gavin Keenan, who cleared it away and drew a very good first touch out of Magnus Hauge at center back. He wasn't even looking at the ball, and he killed it.
Yeah, it was like a Willie Mays over-the-shoulder catch.
Yeah.
I mean, that ball was 60 yards in the air, and he just brought it down running.
Ball's with the Bainbridge goalkeeper Harrington all the way back in his own 18-yard box. Now the center back Hauge, who ever since getting beaten by Haynes has looked rock solid. LeBar. Was it?
We're able to get the ball into their end of the field, but we're not able to get players on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're able to send it in there, but we just can't get anybody. You know, we need 2 or 3 players on the ball.
Sent long by Hauge in the middle. That's kind of what Keenan's hoping for. He nods at the direction of Felix Cobb-Magater, who gets his head to it. So it's back to Cobb-Magater by Newcomb. Cobb-Magater again going long. He wanted Newcomb, but well read coming across by the center back Magnus Hauge. He goes back to Harrington in goal, sending it long first time. Vashon will go back, and Miller will calmly nod it back into the arms of Marshall Wade. Rolled out by Wade into Keenan. Pressure coming from Goodwin. Keenan this time sends it long and over the head of Ryland Cannot. Out for a throw-in, and we will see a Vashon sub here. Haynes coming in, replacing Quill Tegenfeld-Foman and sending August Kampmeyer into midfield.
Yeah, you can see the game has kind of moved into this area. Yeah. This is where we're looking. But our defense is so strong. Oh, look, here we go.
Cobb-Magater down the left-hand side away from one, but then kicking it out of bounds. Tressa's also come in for Cannot. Throwing for Bainbridge on the far side, just behind the halfway line. Sent forward towards Rovedal, who's muscled off of it by Cobb-Magater. Bainbridge want to foul, won't get it. Sent long by Kennan in the general direction of Newcomb, but again, Hauge in the right space to let that one go, and he might let it roll all the way for a goal kick. He doesn't, just at the last minute controlling it and dribbling it into his own 18-yard box. Pirates applying no serious pressure at the moment. So Magnus Hauge just content holding it until he eventually switches it to his center back partner Orion LeBar. Now here comes the pressure from Haynes. LeBar is able to get it into Horwitz, who goes back to Harrington.
I don't mind what Vashon's doing.
No, the sort of mid-block?
Yeah, mid-block. What they're trying to do is create space for it to attack into. And, you know, the other team's not doing that. They're just high press. They want to steal the ball.
Vashon looking to pinch him on the far side, which it looks like they may have done. Lovely touch from Haynes. Here goes Cannot. Early sliding challenge was a good one by Dugan. It did enough to put Cannot off, and Bainbridge can look to counter down the right-hand side, but all 4 of the Vashon defenders are back. It only took one Cobb-Magater to win the header. Throw-in taken quickly in towards Goodwin, but across comes Thompson to calmly deal with the pressure. He outlets Felix Cobb-Magater on the near side, who's got a little bit of space to pick up his head and send a bit of a hopeful long ball in the direction of Haynes. Again, there's Hauge, who is a nice little Ronaldo chop to escape the pressure of Haynes. Ball back with Harrington. Here comes Haynes again. Now LeBar.
I don't know about this.
From
Haynes, because he's taking his own space away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I see, yeah.
He's just running himself. He's not going to get the ball from those guys.
Free kick.
But maybe he wants to touch it more.
Free kick coming for Bainbridge. It was Finn Kennan who was a little too excited at that sliding challenge. Free kick will be just over 10 yards inside the Bainbridge half and all the way wide right. It'll be right back for the Spartans to take it. He fires one in low and hard. The header is backwards from Keenan, and lucky for the Pirates, it falls straight into the arms of Wade, who fakes one way and then rolls it out the other into Keenan. Center forward for Bainbridge. Cruz Pyland is back on the pitch. Sent long by the Pirates. Haynes picks it up, and the referee's going for a free kick, and I'm not totally sure about that call. It's on the way of Bainbridge. It was LeBar who went down in a confrontation with Haynes, and I don't think Haynes was looking at LeBar there. I think he just muscled him off of it.
Well, Haynes is showing a little bit of frustration. The chasing balls that you can't get in their half, going into a tackle like that, it really, as a forward, he needs to bounce off of those.
Ball down the right-hand side for Bainbridge. Decent cross-play towards the near post. Spilled by Wade. Keenan, was he able to keep it in? No, he wasn't. And the first mistake from Marshall Wade gives Bainbridge a corner, and I believe they're first of the game with just under 3 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, they had some free kicks there, again. I would think Dugan would go in there He's won almost every header.
Yeah, he's huge. The size of him, that Eli Dugan. To take the the corner kick, it is Alden Hauge. He's left-footed, so this one from the right-hand side will be an in-swinger. This layer is all around the goalkeeper. This looks like a Premier League corner kick.
It does. They're going to drop it up right in the middle. It'll be interesting to see if Marshall can wade through them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, everybody's right in front of the goal.
Hauge puts 2 hands up and plays one in low towards the near post. Not a good corner kick at all. That one is meat and drink for August Kampmeyer to send out for a Bainbridge throw-in.
I still don't understand. Players at this level can't chip the ball in front of the goal.
You'd think they could. You really think they could. As here's Thompson with the ball inside the Pirates' 18-yard box. He's able to pick out Haynes, who wanted the back heel into Shrestha. They weren't quite on the same page. Shrestha overran it. Throw-in goes the way of Bainbridge, taken down the line right to Osterkov-Magater. Nobody in blue and yellow around him. However, the pressure enough for Bainbridge to send it out for a Pirate throw. Far side, 25 yards inside the Pirates' defensive half. Taken by Cobb-Magater down the line. He wants Haynes, who again is fighting with LeBar. Very physical, those two. Mason Haynes turning away from Dugan and finding Kampmeyer in plenty of space. Kampmeyer able to press the ball forward, feeding it wide for Newcomb, who played in first time towards the back post, and he has gotten way too much of that, sending it out for a goal kick. Certainly not Isaac Newcomb's best cross.
Well, I think he was trying to hit it as hard as he could. They're big guys in there, and they're pretty sharp. I don't think a floating ball is going to work against these guys. I think it has to be a hard hit ball where Mason can step in front of somebody, or Fowler use his speed and step in front. I don't think hanging up anything's going to work here.
Nope. Goal kick could be sent long by Harrington. We're now time on the referee's watch as Thompson wins the first touch. Good touch by Newcomb to take it away for the moment from Marcus Alonso, who at this point stands him up at the corner of the 18 on the near side. Newcomb cuts inside and then finds Kennett, who only has time for one touch. Tried to get it back to Newcomb. Overhit by Kennan and out for a Bainbridge throw-in right by the corner flag on the near side.
Well, at least we're down in their half of the field. We haven't been down here for any consistent time period for at least, 25 minutes?
Yep, something like that.
I don't think we put 2 passes together on this side of the 50. So it's happening now.
Throw-in taken by Goodwin. Missed by Dugan. Now Thompson in midfield fighting with Dugan, who goes down legally. Thompson tried to feed Kampmeyer. Instead, he will look for Haynes, who's gotten around Alonso. Haynes playing it towards the near post, and it took a touch off of Hauge to block it and send it out for a Vashon corner. Man, he is just electric, Mason Haynes.
He's a good turn, boy. He had that guy right on his back, and he just spun him like it was a revolving door. And he got the cross in. Just took a great defensive save.
From Hauge, who has been one of their standout players as well. Shrestha will send an in-swinger with his left foot. Right-hand side for Vashon. We're getting real close to halftime at this point. Shrestha sends a decent ball towards the back post again, just overhit. However, I think it was cleared away by a Bainbridge head. Nevertheless, kept in by Kampmeyer at the back post. Floats one towards the back post. It's Shrestha with a great chance. Didn't catch it the way he wanted, and that one will go out for a goal kick. Best chance of the evening, for Vashon.
Too much time. He was free all alone. The ball was skyrocketing into him. And you could see him look at the goal, and he was going to hit it, and it's just, what a great half.
That's 0-0 after 40. I think you would probably say Bainbridge has been the better team. They certainly have had the ball more in our half than we have in theirs. But this game really completely bypassing the midfield.
Yes,
the midfielders are fighting, but they're not. None of them are really winning the ball. I think the best midfielder on the pitch has been the one for Bainbridge, Eli Dugan.
Yeah, he's good.
But even he's not a midfielder who needs to have the ball at his feet all the time.
You know, I'm not sure if they play a Vashon style of play where they string a ton of passes. It seems to me more like flick-ons and tricks and little things like that. I think if I had to pick the theme of this, I'd say team defense.
Yeah, well, I opened the door in the booth because it was getting pretty odd, but the PA announcer's too loud. We don't want to hear it over the radio. But looking at the shadows, Wade won't have any sun in his eyes for the second half. You can see looking at the goal. We see the sun because we're higher up, but you can see over there it's completely shadowed, that goal. So the coin toss worked out for Vashon.
That may have been something because they were down at our end a lot, serving balls in. And if you're
Oh, yeah. He would have struggled.
yeah,
He would have struggled with the sun in his eyes, but he won't have to worry about that in the second half. I think both teams will be relatively happy with that first half.
so far, yes, I would. You know, one of the things we've talked about over the past couple of years, and it's bothered me even when we had our team 2 years ago, you don't want to give up goals. You have to not give up goals. And it looks like we have made a commitment to not giving up goals. Everybody's working. Every midfielder's tracking back. Even when we get beat, the player continues to run and catches up. It's very good. It's great. It's great discipline, and it's great commitment. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this was the back four that were shining at the beginning of the season against Royal and especially against Mercer. And it looks like even after 66% of a season being played, they're picking up right back where they left off.
Yeah, they're not, they've given a few goals away to La Jolla,
Sure,
like that.
Sure, and that's but two reasons. They lose focus in those games.
Yeah.
And we haven't had the back four of Miller Keenan and the two Cobb Migators play together for all that much of the season.
Yeah.
Not many minutes with those four as our back four. And you think about the state tournament coming up, right? We're probably not going to deviate from that four so much. And if this is how they're dealing with forwards like Pyland and Goodwin and Husseini, these Bainbridge guys who are really fast and really technically skilled,
Yeah.
I mean, they certainly will be able to deal with anything 1A can throw at us.
Oh, gosh. I the Eastern Washington teams play a slightly different style than this. They don't hit these balls. I mean, this is actually both teams are playing the same kind of game. They really want to win the game, but they don't want to do all the passing stuff that takes time. And you lose the ball. It's kind of scary in there. The other team is a little bit better, a little more athletic, I think, and a little more comfortable with that. It appears to me, maybe because of Cascade, we've kind of gone away from just, we're going to string 25 passes together in this little box, and you're going to have to watch us do it. We're not doing that anymore.
Well, that would not be working for us because our midfielders would be getting dominated, and they'd be able to start their counterattacks not with their center back sending long balls, but with their midfielders playing through balls.
I think we learned that that's what we saw when we watched Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
It was worrisome because I thought, well, there's no way we're just going to do what needs to be done, but we're doing what needs to be done. This is the kind of a game where the pretty part isn't going to happen. We'll get pretty stuff on Tuesday when we play Seattle Christian. We'll get to see a lot of give and goes and fun stuff. This is more of a gladiator type of game. We're looking for people who are not going to back out of tackles, who are going to run things down, and 100% all the time.
We have those.
We have those.
We have
every
those
one of them
in abundance.
Yes. I think the mindset is actually, just win, baby, as they say.
Well, good, because it feels like this is the first time where that really has been the mindset from the coaches and these players.
Oh, yeah. They were always doing another thing that I could never figure out. I'm like, you guys you're playing in your own head. You're not really playing the game that's in front of you. But it looks to me, every game I've seen this year, they just are doing what they need to do. And sometimes it's not pretty. I could see a parent who's watched their kid play and look at this and go, I remember my kid used to make 25 passes a game, and now he's just running around fighting with people.
Yeah.
Well, the other team's fighting back.
Right.
It's not like they're being allowed to make 25 passes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen in the midfield, I think what's the most passes we've seen? 3?
Yeah, at most.
3? By either
most.
team.
Yeah, it's just not going through the midfield.
No.
It's pretty much a non-factor for any team in possession. And people will talk about, my kid used to play 25 passes. Yeah, what's the score?
Yeah.
I mean, really, the only stat that matters is the one I'm looking at right now, and it says 0-0.
Well, at this point in our life, we're seniors, and this is our big year. Mm-hmm. We're going to do what we need to do to win.
Yeah.
By the way, I love beautiful soccer. I love it. But I don't like losing and then saying, well, we're better than them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you shouldn't have been at the postseason get-together last year. That was what everybody was saying.
Oh, I hate that kind of stuff. Not that our players don't know better, but they're focused on the wrong thing. When you get to the state tournament, you're just winning games, so you keep playing. Mm-hmm. Playing ugly soccer is better than playing no soccer and watching somebody else play in the game that you could have won.
And in our case, we're so much better than those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they're in the final. We're on the couch.
Yeah, we're watching the game from home. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like, the beautiful game shouldn't be beautiful, but sometimes it's just a game, and you're just fighting for it.
Right.
You want to show that you deserve it. And I think we deserve it. I really do. I can't see. Okay, we lost the last year to Kings. Was it Kings?
Kingsway Christian.
Kingsway Christian. I could see us losing to a team like that. Now, what did I just say? We're down in their end all game long, and then something goes sideways. Somebody trips over the ball, they score a goal, and then they just hunker in.
Right.
That's the only – nobody who can play with us is going to be able to beat us. We have to make sure that when we dominate those teams, we score. And that when they try and get out, we don't let them get out. We play with intensity to make sure that they never get a sniff of our goal.
Well, if you're JT right now, what adjustments are you making?
Oh, my gosh. I tell the players, I'm really proud of you. You're working really hard. I would say watch for the second player running because they do a lot of flicks, and you're thinking to yourself, there's no way the ball's coming in. This player's going to be
and then Pylan does some behind-the-back, bicycle flick.
They've got 10 of these things. I mean, the balls are kind of they're being redirected and flicked off.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be telling defenders, don't stop your run. Two guys are running, just keep running it and get into the defensive position because these guys could flick it, and it doesn't look like there's any way it could get there, and it does. Mm-hmm. So I'd be saying that. As far as the midfield and forward, I would tell Mason to go into a low block and put more pressure on them when they try and play the ball in the midfield, and then quickly transition to Mason or Fowler.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about Bainbridge? If you're the Bainbridge coach, if you're Mark Novak, how are you going to try and break down this Vashon back four?
Well, I don't know him.
Okay, well, you're not literally Mark Novak, but
the reason I say that is because different coaches, they could be looking at the game saying, you guys are a lot better than these guys. All you need to do is score, which I think is a mistake because I don't think they're that much better than us. I think they're just a little bigger, a little quicker, and they're very aggressive. So if I was the other team, other coach, I would say the passing that we're doing in the back, let's try and do some in the midfield because they have good midfielders. I don't know if I was JT, I'd tell our team to do that.
No,
I would,
no, but this is if you're the Bainbridge coach and you're trying to win.
Yeah, if I was the Bainbridge coach, I'd probably, if I was in his shoes, I'd say, come on, you guys, let's pass the ball in the midfield a little bit. These guys are good, but they're 1A, and you can play against them. I don't think they really can. I think we're stopping him from doing that, but he may reassert that idea in their head, saying, you're just hitting these long balls, and their defenders are too fast. They're going too big.
Yeah, I think the message would, and from me, and probably should be something along the lines of, why are you guys so scared?
Yeah.
What are you scared of?
Yeah.
Like, yes, these guys are great. Yeah. We watch them for 40 minutes. We couldn't score.
Right.
And they're creating some chances. They've got that one forward that's dusting our guys. But, if we keep the ball in midfield, not only are we pushing the play forward further into their half, which I believe that if I was Bainbridge, I'd be saying I believe we could do that. We get the fullbacks forward, get them involved. Their forward is getting less chances. That guy's getting on the ball less. And if he wants to get on the ball, he's going to have to drop back deeper. So if he burns a guy, it's right at the halfway line instead of right by our penalty box.
That's what I would do. But then again, remember, it also plays into our trap a little bit.
Sure, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't know that if I was a Bainbridge coach.
But, if you think about it, if we've had some success when they tried to play the ball in the midfield because we're right there. Crow's working very hard. Team is working very hard. They're all right on their guy. One missed pass, we step in front, suddenly it's a 2-on-2, and we can slot that ball in for our fast players. And I could see Mason getting a penalty kick out here. I promise you. It feels like that's maybe the way we score.
Yeah. No, I could see a penalty in this. I could see 2 penalties in this. I could see it being like Royals.
Yeah.
2 penalties.
Well, we're so jittery, and they're very aggressive on the ball. They're very confident in the back. And sometimes when you play a player like Mason, who you don't know what he's going to do, he's so quick side to side, they could take his foot out like that in the penalty area.
Oh, yeah. No, they could certainly concede a penalty. And Mason's been so good, you just want to keep feeding him. No matter how you're feeding him, whether it's to feet or in space, just get him fighting with those center backs because he's not going to get tired of it.
No.
That's what he wants. He wants a center back on his back, and he wants to be pushing that guy away, waiting for a chance to spin.
Yeah, but I don't think a 50, 60-yard ball from our defenders to it is going to work.
Not necessarily, no.
Because that'll give them time to, one, get right up on his back, but another player will drop in behind. So
right.
He'll lose all the advantage.
So, but then do you say, okay, we're going to try to work the ball down the wing to get it to Mason or through the midfield?
I would go through the midfield, actually. I would just basically say, go into kind of a low block, Let those two guys pass the ball, and eventually they're either going to hit it long, which isn't working, or they're going to try and play it into the feet. Other midfielders, our midfielders, Vashon midfielders, step on those balls. Step in front. Read the play. Don't get turned, but read the play. Once you get it, you put it immediately into the forward. And we're off. And we got our penalty maybe or something like that.
Mason just scored. Although I will say I have seen a couple of instances where we have tried to step, and they're kind of wary of that. Like, obviously, these are good midfielders. It isn't going to work every time. Ben Kennon's gotten penalized for trying to step and just being a step too slow.
Yeah. That what we said at the beginning, I was really impressed with their starting position. We have to improve our starting position. So we have to realize that, those guys are going to hit 90% of the balls over the top. But that 10% that they're playing into the midfield, if we win one of them, that could be the game right there.
Well, Vashon's coming back onto the pitch here. It's Wade Miller, Keenan, Cobb-Magader, Kennan, McLean, Tegenfeld, Bowman, Kampmeyer, Thompson, and Newcomb. So no Haynes to start the second half. That is a relatively JT thing to do, though.
It is. You look at it different ways. I'm going to look at it the positive way and say he's going to get the other team lulled, not seeing Mason, and then toss him out on the outside, and he swings across the midfield and catches on a break.
Right.
Or you could just say, Mason, you're not working hard enough, which I think he is. I don't think that's the case. I think he's thinking, give Mason a break. Also get their minds not on him.
Right.
Once they focus on something else, you slow your game down maybe.
Well, let's hope it's not anything injury related.
No, he looked fine.
He did look fine. I didn't see any knocks. I felt my roster here.
Oops. Do you need this one?
Yeah, maybe I'll take this one. Although I want the one where the guy wrote on it. Ah, there it is. There it is. All right. About to get underway for the second half. That coin toss was crucial for Vashon because Wade has absolutely no sun in his eyes.
Perfect. It's a dream.
So it will be Vashon getting us underway for the second half as Thompson sends it back to Gavin Keenan, takes a couple touches and launches it long over to Newcomb on the near side, touches it with his thigh straight up in the air, and then tries to play it across into Thompson. That's cleared away by the Spartans, sent back into the mixer by Felix Cobb-Magader, all the way through to the left center back Hauge. He plays it across to the right back Brody McCallum. Now here's Orion Labar, back to Magnus Hauge, standout defender for Bainbridge over the first 40 minutes. He sends it forward into Cruz Pylons, who checks Tegenfeld Foman off the ball illegally in the eyes of the official, and Vashon have a free kick 5 yards ahead of the halfway line, wide right.
That's just what we talked about, by the way. You want to step on for those balls and not let them play it into the midfield, or intercept the ball in the midfield.
Keenan floats one in towards Newcomb, headed away by Labar. McLean will bring this down with medium pressure coming initially from Nika Troyan. McLean gets it back in midfield, across into Thompson. He's got some space to operate, turns away from Haugen, and then turns right back into him. Now it's McLean down the left-hand side for Newcomb. Crunching tackle coming in from Labar, but he got the ball. No penalty called by the referee. That was a tough challenge, but it did look like he got the ball. Newcomb is down in a heap. And now Bainbridge can look to go the other way. It's Nika Troyan down the right-hand side, away from McLean. Still going Troyan. Now here's Pylan inside the 18-yard box. Turns away from Miller. Pylan plays a good ball towards the back post, but it's behind Dana Goodwin. He sprints over to the far touchline to keep it in. He's up against Felix Cobb-Magader. Goodwin plays one towards the back post. No one was there. Pylan was stretching. And now it'll go out for a Vashon goal kick. So two great chances for both sides, either end, to start the second half.
I think the game's going to open up here now. You're right. Was it Isaac who got taken out there?
It was, Isaac Newcomb.
I think he should have shot.
Mm-hmm. I think he should have taken it on his left.
Yeah.
But that was an all-or-nothing challenge by Orion Labar. If he got that wrong, that's a penalty and a card.
Yeah.
As Newcomb finds McLean, first touch wide to Oscar Cobb-Magader on the near side. He's away from Troyan, then finds Kennan in midfield. And already there's more possession in the midfield for Vashon as Felix Cobb-Magader plays it into the foot of Dana Goodwin, who couldn't keep it in on the far side, and Vashon will have a throw-in.
Boy, I like the way Marshall's controlling the penalty area. He is reading the game really well.
Yeah, for someone who hasn't really played soccer before, he seems on it.
Yeah, he came out a little too far in prior games, but it seems like he's figured out how far is too far. But he's controlling the penalty area. Oops.
Finn Kennan going down under a challenge from Cruz Pylan. Pretty easy call for the referee as he explains why that was a foul to Pylan. Free kick for Vashon inside their own half. Taken short by Miller into Keenan, who has space to put his eyes up and then look to send it long. He wants Tegenfeld-Foman on the far side, under hit. Easily won by the left back Marcus Alonso. Picked back up in midfield by Thompson for Vashon. Now here's Felix Kopmager lofting one in towards Newcomb. Header one by Labar. Second one by McLean towards Kampmeyer, who couldn't get there. Cleared away by Alonso. Keenan nods it back into the mixer just over the head of McLean. It bounces favorably for Tegenfeld-Foman. Newcomb flicking it on towards Kampmeyer. Across comes Alonso. Tegenfeld-Foman almost got there, but it's Brody McCallum to clear it for Bainbridge, who can now counter through Pylan. Tried to play it through to Troyan. Keenan is in the right place, and his clearance rockets off of Cruz Pylan and will go out for a goal kick.
We're doing a little better now. We're playing the ball to the midfield. We're not just sending everybody the ball long. And I've noticed that in this half, they're running more with four guys, and they're backing up a little quicker, leaving those midfielders open. Mm-hmm. Watch Quill. Look at him. He's looking for spaces right now. And then
he moves away.
Yeah.
Lewis Thompson checks in.
Yeah, and I'm sure the coach has somebody said, hey, that guy's open all the time. Mm-hmm. And so is Avery.
McLean into Newcomb, gets a little bit lucky, but he's away from McCallum. Cuts inside away from Horwitz. Maybe he should have gone down, but it's fallen to Tegenfeld-Foman inside the 18-yard box. Another great sliding challenge by Orion Labar. This time, however, it's in concession of a corner.
That's what we talked about, the confidence in the penalty area. They're just sliding now.
Yeah.
If we can get into the penalty area, they'll give us a penalty kick before this game is over.
Especially, it'll be different sliding against Mason Haynes versus Quill Tegenfeld-Foman.
That's exactly what we talked about,
Still no sign of him warming up or anything. Man, it would suck if he's injured for some reason.
No, he's not injured. You'd see a little bit more than that. He's a tough guy.
Yeah. Newcomb will send this one in. It's a right-footed in-swinger to come from him on the near left-hand side. Pirates lining up at the back stick. Newcomb winds up and then fires one towards the back post. Not a bad ball, but missed by two going for the header, and then Keener with his foot. This is a great opportunity for Cruz Pylan. He's up against Finn Kennan. Pylan is significantly faster than Kennan. Pylan's inside the box. Great opportunity. Saved by Wade, diving down to his right, and he didn't even have to parry it away. What a save by Wade, and what a letdown for Cruz Pylan. It really was a bad finish. I don't know what that was.
He had another 10, 15 yards to go, and he just decided, well, I can shoot this.
It's not that great of a save when the keeper doesn't have to parry it. He just catches it. I mean, it was good by Wade, and I'll tell you what, it's good to see that a new goalkeeper can save things down low.
Well, he set himself up this time. We talked about this before. As the guy brings his foot back, you set yourself, then you can go to either side or whatever you need to do. But the truth is, Island was way past in.
that foot race is no contact.
No, he should have kept going. We weren't going to catch him.
No. Should have checked his shoulder. Decent tackle by McLean. Picked up by Tegenfeld-Foman. He has Kampmeyer, but showed way too much to Hauge. Now here come Bainbridge on the left-hand side. Easily won by Kopmager. Vashon looked the better team coming out of the proverbial locker room. But Bainbridge said, I don't know about that, going down the left-hand side, but offside is the left midfielder of the Spartans, and Vashon will have a free kick inside their own half.
Yeah, he was offside. I was wondering when he was going to call it.
Yep. I mean, they instruct ARs these days, or referees' assistants. You were there at Charles Wright when that guy did. He told us, whatever.
I think these people are a little better.
Yeah. The referees' assistants are a little bit better. I think they train him to wait.
Yes.
And he waited, and they got the ball, so he put his flag up.
This game is really going now.
It's really kicked off. That was midfielder Blake Moyer, who we have not seen any of. We did not play in the first half, Moyer.
Really?
He was the one who was offside, yeah. Now here's Kopmager, waiting for the pressure from Goodwin to come, and eventually just barely squeaked it back to Miller. All the way back to Wade. Forward into McLean in midfield, who on a bouncing ball is just able to get it to Miller, who in turn is just able to get it to Kopmager, who cuts inside away from Goodwin. Now Thompson, who did not check his shoulder. Good step by Hauge. His attempted pass is blocked by Kennan, but it falls right back to Hauge. Now down the left-hand side goes Will Treverton. He's beaten to it by Kopmager. Cleared away only as far as the left back Alonso. He loses out to Tegenfeld-Foman. Kampmeyer puts his foot through it, launches a long ball that Newcomb has half a chance at. It's a 1v2 for Newcomb, and that's too much even for him. Well defended by Orion Labar and Nika Troyan. As Troyan slips away from McLean, and the last touch came off of him, so Vashon have a throw-in. 8 minutes already into the second half. It's flown by. Thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM, Voice of Vashon, or voiceofvashon.org. Zeros between Vashon and Bainbridge, the top-ranked teams in 1A and 2A, respectively, as Tegenfeld-Foman on the twist went for the volley, and I think that one was a little less advisable than the first one he went for.
Yeah, but we're playing the ball up a little bit farther. We're trying to play with our midfielders. They're laying off our midfielders a little more than they were in the first half, which I think we should use that.
But it's not as if they haven't looked dangerous in the second half. They've had a couple chances going forward.
Well, the thing about fast players is they don't get tired because they're making sprints and resting and resting and resting. Then they make another sprint. So
good step by Oscar Cobb-Migater, but he got the ball cut under his foot a little bit, picked up by Dana Goodwin, turns, cuts inside, feeds it down the left-hand side. Wade is off his line to clear it with his feet. It was a bit low, but it squeaked past Moyer in midfield. Now Horwitz back to Hauge. Troyan on the near side for Bainbridge. Forward into Pyland, surrounded by 3 Pirates. He's able to turn away from all of them, however, backwards. He goes back to LeBar. Now Pyland again, inside the defensive end of the center circle. Forward into Moyer, turning away from Kennan, tried to feed it into Trevorton down the line. Won by Vashon. Now here's Thompson. Fakes the pass and then cuts away, but couldn't flick it into McLean. One back by Horwitz only momentarily. Thompson does well to win it back, and this time plays it safe with an outlet ball down the right-hand side for Felix Cobb-Migater. He fires a good pass into Quill Tegenfeld-Foman. Tried to turn away from Hauge, but showed too much of the ball. Now Trevorton split the difference between Moyer and Pyland. Stepping up is Miller, and he found a good pass on the near side for Oscar Cobb-Migater. A little space to work with. Cobb-Migater cuts inside. Still going Cobb-Migater. Room's open up first shot, which Cobb-Migater will take and score! It is an excellent goal! It's a beautiful goal! Cobb-Migater has nailed the top corner, and Vashon are 1-0 up with half an hour to go.
That's a great ball. I think they're going to give him a yellow card.
Yeah, he took off his shirt. That's a yellow card. That's a yellow card, but who cares? Well, maybe he will if he gets booked again. We've still got half an hour to go. I think taking your shirt off with half an hour to go is not advisable. However, what a goal. I mean, you couldn't draw it up any better. He cuts inside from left back, gets it on his right foot, laces it into the top corner. I mean, Harrington thinking, what do I even do there?
You don't do anything on that. You just watch it go into goal, and you get it out of the goal. Tell your team, hey, you guys got to stop guys from shooting.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Harrington, I'm looking at the defense. How do you cut in so easily?
Like, again, they won the ball here, and again, we talked about this before. When a team passes the ball in the back and they make a mistake, they're all spread out. You just have to attack the space. Kampmeyer did it the first half. Newcomb did it once, and Oscar did it there.
First round of substitutions came in for Vashon. We've got Shrestha and Newcomb coming in. Obviously, Cobb-Migater had to sub off with the yellow card, and Shrestha came in as well to replace somebody. Still no Mason Haynes. So we'll see about that. As Felix Cobb-Migater going down under pressure from Trevorton. Bainbridge will look to switch the momentum of this first half, which was going in favor of Vashon. Cobb-Migater wastes no time in subbing back in. He replaces Shrestha and sends Newcomb back up to left wing.
We made the right adjustments. We started playing a little more possession, stopped doing the long balls, and maybe that's why we took Mason out. He's too tempting to just send the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of forces you, if you don't have a speed demon like that up front, who's very tricky, to say, well, we're going to work together to get it up.
It's so almost sad for Haynes that that's the situation. He's too good. We just want to keep giving him the ball.
Yeah.
But if we take him out, then we start playing differently.
Yes, we play shorter because we're not looking for that.
That is such good skill from Tegenfeld-Foman to turn out of pressure. Now Kampmeyer down the right, goes down under contact. Referee has to think about it. What's he giving here? Nothing. He put the whistle to his mouth, but in the end thought better of it, and I actually think I agree with him. I don't see a penalty there. Kampmeyer touched the ball away from Hauge, but then just ran into him.
Yeah, I think it was
Throw-in taken by Bainbridge into Hauge, so we'll see how they adjust. Now 1-0 down. I wish we had instant replay. What a goal from Cobb-Migater. He has those in his locker. I remember he scored a lovely goal in the third-place match 2 years ago. What a ball! Thompson's in! Harrington's off his line! Thompson has skied it! Harrington came off his line like a rocket, and that was enough to put Thompson off.
Yeah, I think he should have gone with his left foot. He tried to get it onto his right, so like a hockey, slide it into the corner, and he just spun too much, pressured too much, and put it high.
Man, Newcomb has got that outside of the boot pass in his locker. We've seen that so many times. That was an excellent ball to completely take out the back line, and Harrington just kept Bainbridge in it.
Yeah, that was a good chance. That was a good chance. I mean, compared to what Oscar just did, it was a gimme.
Forward by Cobb-Migater. Troyan shielded off of it by Newcomb for the moment. McLean comes across, gets the toe to it, wants to throw and won't get it. Bainbridge will get it. They have their throw-in on the near side, deep in their own half.
They should be panicking a little bit.
Yeah, they need to get something going here.
Well, we're dominating the game, actually.
Yep. Picked up in midfield by Tegenfeld-Foman. Tried to loft it on the far side for Kampmeyer. Won back by Moyer on the far side. He tried to pick out Treverton. Across Caden Miller to put in another incredible challenge. I mean, we'll remember this game for that Cobb-Migater goal, but the two people battling for man of the match right now are Caden Miller and Jack Student.
Yeah, probably. I think they're doing a great job. But then again, the game is changing a little bit. It's not in our end all the time.
We'll see. So still no Haynes. I mean, it just makes me worry a little bit. I think I see him in uniform at the moment, but not planning on coming in for now as Cobb-Migater is brought down from behind by Cruz Pylan. Vashon will get a free kick on the far side, deep inside their own half end. Felix Cobb-Migater, that is, seems to have come off a little bit worse. We'll see if this is an actual injury or just a bit of game management from the sophomore. So one thing to keep in mind, though, both Vashon fullbacks are on a yellow.
Yeah.
Both Cobb-Migaters have a yellow. Felix for a heavy sliding challenge. Oscar for just taking his shirt off after celebrating a goal. Cobb-Migater's still down, and the trainers are coming across.
Well, he is a sophomore, so he's a little smaller.
I really wish we had one of those sideline reporters that we could call into to see what's up with Mason Haynes.
Yeah. Well, again, we've taken him out, and we're looking more dangerous. Again, I think it has to do with the fact that, kind of like both teams did in the first half. They just we want to score. And then at halftime, the coaches say, by the way, you might want to play soccer while you're trying to score because it's more fun that way. And it looks like we've taken that to heart, and they haven't. We're actually finding open players in the middle of the field. We've moved closer to their half. I think it's just a smarter game. I'm a little disappointed that they look a little bit panicked. They had probably the best chance of the game, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and somebody shot it 20 yards out.
Right.
When he could have gone in at least another 10 yards.
So Cobb-Migater's back to his feet and seems to be okay. Free kick sent long by Keenan. One in the midfield by the center midfielder, Dugan. And it will go out last off of a Pirate for a Bainbridge throw on the far side. This one right by the halfway line.
I think it's way too early for us to do anything less than play the best we can.
Yeah, well, 23 minutes to go, plus there'll be some stoppage time.
Yeah, I don't think we should slow down. We should play like the first 5 minutes.
Launched long down the line, picked up by Treverton inside the box. He sped it forward towards Rosedal, who nearly got a toe to it. He was stretching to get there. Wade was caught in no man's land, but Rosedal just didn't have the foot length to reach it, and Vashon escaped with a goal kick.
Close one. That was a nice ball, but in behind the defense, you don't see the player behind you coming in, and that was Rosedal.
Thompson's come off for, I believe, Fowler here. Here is Caden Miller. He goes along looking for Fowler. Good step by Hauge to win it for the Spartans. Now here's Moyer, who tried the little Vinicius dummy turn. In the end, just let the ball roll out of bounds. Throw in taken by Cobb-Migater into Kampmeyer, and Vashon will have another throw in about 10 yards farther up the pitch. Far side, here's Felix Cobb-Migater, takes it into Tegenfeld-Foman. Right back to Cobb-Migater, who goes long with his first touch, looking for Fowler. Hauge wins the header. Second ball picked up by Kennan. Tegenfeld-Foman having to shield Dugan off the ball. And Vashon will have yet another throw in, yet another 10 yards higher up the pitch, this time on the halfway line.
Getting a little ratty out there right now. They're fighting for everything. We're fighting for everything. And it seems to be bouncing off and going out of bounds again.
Picked up in midfield by Treverton. Sending it the way of Moyer. Now here's Pyland up against Keenan. And Highland sends it off the foot of Gavin Keenan for a Bainbridge throw.
You know, we kind of said that about the Cascade Christian Brazilian player who just had to do a trick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the same feeling with Pyland a little bit. It's like, can we just make a straight pass? Because I haven't seen one yet. He's a good player, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
But he could simplify his game and just make sure his players get the ball sometimes. Right. You know, as opposed to flicking it and twirling and backheeling and all this stuff.
Well, we've got just over 20 minutes to go in this run. Vashon 1-0 up away at the top-ranked 2A team, Bainbridge. Oscar Kopmeigeter with an all-time rocket into the top corner. That's the difference so far. Thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM, Voice of Vashon, or voiceofvashon.org. Big thank you to Dan Schuler in the studio on Island for making everything happen. And thank you to Vashon Thriftway for underwriting all things Vashon Sports, as Bainbridge have won a free kick off of August Kampmeyer, just over 15 yards inside the Pirate half and about 5 yards wide of the left hash mark. So not all the way wide, but definitely on the left-hand side of the pitch.
I'd hit Eli Dugan running across the whole mountain.
Yep. And then I'm sure he'll be the target. He's quite a tall guy. Launched in by Bainbridge. It'll drop at the back post. Nodded across by the Spartans, and there's Dugan, and it's over the bar.
It was a good play.
The great opportunity for Eli Dugan. I believe that was him. It could have been, or was it? No, it wasn't. Excuse me. It was Howard Howlett. Oh. That's who it was. It was Howlett who had a great chance just in front of the 6-yard box and nodded it over. Best chance, well, not the best chance of the second half for Bainbridge. Great chance for Bainbridge as Fowler applies pressure to the left-sided center back, who seems to now be Eli Dugan. So I think they've pushed up Hauge and dropped back Dugan. That seems to be their attempt at a tactical change, as Kopmeigeter fighting with Cruz Pyland. I don't think he really knew where the ball was. Pyland's got the ball. Kopmeigeter's got the wrong side of him and gone down. And again, that's great defense from Felix Kopmeigeter. And again, he paid the price for it. Once again, down on the far side.
It was the same player, too.
Yeah. So now it kind of feels like this might be game management from Kopmeigeter.
It does feel a little bit. But again, I don't think it was, they're quick players. They're all fighting for the ball. It's in a really dangerous area. So I don't think it's a yellow card.
No, I don't think so. That's just an instance of Kopmeigeter getting the better of Pyland. I mean, again, it feels like everybody and their mother's getting the better of Pyland at some point in this game.
Well, again, I know that sounds funny. He's a terrific player, very fast, but I'm not crazy about what he's doing all the time.
It doesn't seem like he has a lot of creativity.
Well, he's flashing instead of doing the right thing. And I know that sounds weird.
Sent long by Keenan. Initially won by Labar. Second ball picked up in the center circle by Fowler, who's chased wide by Alden Hauge. Fowler still in possession. Turns away from Hauge, but not, one Hauge, but not the second. Attempted flick on played by Moyer. He's looking for Treverton. It really is a scrum in midfield at the moment, and the referee calls it to an end by blowing his whistle for a Pirate free kick. 5 yards inside Bainbridge's half, all the way on the right.
I can tell you right now, the coach of Bainbridge, that clock is going by 3 times faster than reality right now. He's looking up there going, we only have 18 minutes to break these guys down, and we haven't done anything for the first 60. It's gonna be flying by. He's gonna panic here.
So Vashon have a free kick. See what Keenan does with this. I mean,
he can hit it.
I give you one guess. Keenan floats it in towards the middle of the 18-yard box. Tegenfeld-Fulman almost got there. Well done by Orion Labar to win the header. Sent away by Bainbridge. Felix Kopmeigeter will field that one away for a Pirate throw-in. Far side, 10 yards inside Bainbridge's half. Sent in. Header won by McLean. He has a decent aptitude for headers, considering his stature. Tegenfeld-Fulman drifts it wide into Kampmeyer. Sends it back to Kopmeigeter. Felix Kopmeigeter, first time, trying to pick out Tegenfeld-Fulman. Cleared only as far as McLean. Newcomb now, cutting inside from the edge of the 18. Fires one towards the near post. Caught with decent power, but not enough direction, and easy for Cooper Harrington rolling to his right.
I like where we're doing things.
Good tackle there by Felix Kopmeigeter, who's really come alive in this game, but especially the second half. This time, though, he's tackled off the ball, and Bainbridge can look to go the other way. Can Commager position be held? Decent idea with the through ball. As it tested Caden Miller, who had to run back away from Pylant. Miller beats him to it, sends it wide for Kampmeyer, who wins a throw-in off of the left midfielder of Bainbridge.
We're playing a better second half. We're the better team right now.
We are. Yeah, we've come out of halftime looking better for sure. They just don't seem to be able to tactically adjust in this situation. They're kind of just saying, oh, well, plan A is not working. We'll just do plan A, but try harder.
Yes, exactly. We'll do it faster.
Yeah.
You know,
and if anything, that works against them.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but, you know, anybody can pass the ball standing still. It gets a little harder when you're jogging, gets a little harder when you're sprinting, and it gets really hard when you're sprinting like the speed of a Olympic-class sprinter. The game is too fast for their skill. You know what I mean? They look very uncomfortable.
Thompson's come in to replace Fowler. The ball's was taken, felt Foreman, well shielded by Shep Horwitz to win it back for the Spartans. Sent back by Jack Shepard, who's come in at right center back for the Spartans. He goes back to Harrington, who goes long. Picked up on the far side by Howard Howlett for Bainbridge, and Vashon have a throw-in.
Perfect example. The player just did a step over and passed the ball out of bounds. It's hard to do a step over and pass the ball properly when you're running as fast as you can, and the person chasing you is just as fast as you are.
Kampmeyer there trying to do his best Cruz Pylant impression with that flick, and it has worked. Tegenfeld's come away with it, and he's gone down, and that will be a throw-in for the Spartans. Tegenfeld home and protest, I think, slightly in a pantomime way. That came off of him. Header won by Miller, sent back into the scrum of the midfield. It goes back to Orion Labar inside the center circle for the Spartans. That is a lovely dummy turn by Goodwin. Now here comes Troyan, playing it in, flicked on by Pylant, tackled away by Keenan. It's Felix Commager, an incredible effort by the sophomore to clear it because Trevorton was bearing down. And actually, it'll be a free kick now on the near side, taken quickly by Bainbridge. Here is Nika Troyan. Back for Shepard, the center back, and he's giving it straight to Kampmeyer. I think he wanted to feed it forward to Thompson, but he might have heard you say shoot and overhit it.
And the goalkeeper was at the 40. So every ball he's done now, he's just sending it long because he's the goalkeeper. Right. He doesn't want it in his end.
Sent long by Bainbridge and sent right back to their back line by Caden Miller. Now with Hauge into Shepard. Bainbridge has switched to somewhat of a three-back here as Labar pushes forward. Now Goodwin cutting inside. McLean stands him up for the moment. And the referee's blown for a free kick off the ball. It was Oscar Commager on Will Trevorton. Free kick taken quickly, hitting off of Isaac Newcomb. Referee says that's illegal, and Bainbridge will get another chance. I do think Newcomb has a case that they decided to take it quickly. I just happened to be there.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on your eye contact. If you're not looking at the ball, you're running across and get hit, that's one thing. But I think Newcomb was looking at the ball. And when you're 3-4 yards away, even though he chose to do it early, you can't be in that area. But it doesn't really matter. We'll see what happens.
Sent in by Alden Hauge towards the back post, headed upwards by Bainbridge and out of bounds for a goal kick. So we have 13 and a half minutes left in the second half. Something's up with Mason Haynes.
Possibly.
Or it was a coaching decision and a brave one.
Yes, it was.
That is a brave call to bench your most prolific attacker in a game that is 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah, but it turned out to be the right decision.
We're winning for now. Yeah. And look the better team, although Bainbridge in these last 5 minutes have been getting the ball into our end a little bit more, and they look to continue to do so with Howlett. He goes back to Hauge, surrounded by three Pirates who get the best of him. It was Kampmeyer and Thompson. However, the second ball is won by Trevorton in midfield. Now here's Hauge, who's dispossessed by Thompson, who can run at the other Hauge. Reinforcements arrive for Bainbridge, and Thompson forced to play a square to McLean, although that probably was the right decision anyway. Newcomb now trying to float it. Back post for Tegenfeld. Foreman, not the worst idea in the world, but way too close to Harrington.
Well, we actually had 3 or 4 passes in the center. That was nice.
Sent long by Hauge. Not a great ball. Easily stepped to by Miller, who can run into space. He gives it to McLean. under some pressure. McLean didn't really have anywhere to go. Picked up by Troyan, who in turn can run it Vashon. McLean takes a stab at it from behind and does enough, but then the referee's given a free kick.
Good defense, though.
Yeah, for that tackle from McLean, and even though the Pirates will have some complaints, that is a net positive for Vashon.
Oh, it's great. It's a great defensive foul. Sometimes you just do things because it's better for your team. And it wasn't a dirty foul either, by the way. He just kind of poked it at the guy and probably hit him in the ankles.
Alden Hauge will take this free kick. Everybody back for Vashon except for Thompson. Hauge lost it into the box. Wade will be tested here. He's missed it. He tapped it back. Have they kept it in on the far side? They have, and actually that worked out for Vashon until the referee blows his whistle and gives a corner. It did look out of bounds. So Wade slightly misjudged it. He went too far forward, realized it, and then just decided to get a hand to it. And in the end, he tapped it back for a corner.
Yeah, that could have gone to the goal. You know, that's not being used to playing goal.
So we got a Premier League corner kick here. Everybody's right on the goalkeeper. Whipped in towards Wade, who catches it well under pressure. That was really well done by Marshall Wade, who it feels like every game is getting better in goal.
He is growing into this job.
Here's Keenan. Sends it long. Missed by Tegenfeld-Foman, but picked up by Thompson. Good. Weir does really well to turn out of pressure inside the center circle and draw the foul out of Shep Horwitz. Thompson, just like Haynes, is very, very good with the man on his back.
Yeah, you know, this game is good for our RPI right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think, it doesn't matter what happens at this point. I think that we're going to get a lot out of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pretty good year for this.
Oh, yeah. This feels like the year. These guys feel like winners.
They do.
I will knock on wood because you never know. But, I mean, we haven't seen Cascade Leavenworth play.
Yeah.
I've tried to look at film, but I don't think they're on NFHS.
Well, you know, you can guess how they play. Think Royal.
Sure.
I mean, they're not playing like this, that's for sure.
Lost it towards the back post by Keenan. Not cleared initially by Bainbridge. Well done by Labar to get to the second ball. And then there is Alden Hauge to send it long.
Ooh,
now here comes Cruz Pyland. He is onside. Away from Juan. Pyland in the box. Flares it up for Bainbridge. And he knew he wasn't missing from there. That's what he should have done the first time. And I'll tell you what, he had Caden Miller on his back. And he fielded him off really well.
You know, that was, I think it was 50-50 penalty. If he'd gone down on that, it would have been a penalty. Because he was in front of him. It was a good finish. I guess that's what happens when you're a really high-level player.
Yep.
You're faster than everybody else.
I mean, he hasn't looked the most aware when it comes to just open play on the field, but you play him through, and man, that is not somebody you want to be defending.
No, he's got some speed. It'll be interesting to see what they do now.
Yep. Sent long by Keenan. Back in towards the back line by Bainbridge. Attempted flick on play by the Spartans. Cobb-Magater's wary of it and sends it clear. Felix Cobb-Magater, that is. Now it's with Shepard.
Ooh,
forward in towards the center midfielder. One back by Vashon. They have numbers here. Newcomb plays a really poor pass to Kampmeyer. That was way too far behind him, but he's won it back. Kampmeyer now on the edge of the 18. Looks for the nutmeg. Tries to force himself in and will win a corner for Vashon. Kampmeyer's done really well with a bad situation.
That was a great response by Vashon. Just giving up a goal, and now we're taking a corner.
Now we're right back at him. Kampmeyer standing over it for the moment. Shrestha's not on the pitch, so we won't have that left-footed in-swinger. Kampmeyer waiting for people to get lined up into the box. We've got 8.5 minutes, all squared at 1 between the top-ranked team in 1A and the top-ranked team in 2A. Kampmeyer. Not a bad ball, just behind Keenan. Not cleared, though. Newcomb back behind. Keenan gets a flick onto it, but it's right at Harrington in goal. And Bainbridge will look to counter quickly here, but Isaac Newcomb does very well to stand in front of Harrington, not allowing him to send it long. He instead will roll it out short to the left back of Bainbridge, who, under pressure from Kampmeyer, plays it out wide on the right for Brody McCallum. McCallum will look to dink a lovely ball. Hauge's onto it here. He goes across. He's going for goal early. He saw Wade off his line, but didn't get enough power on it. Wade was able to double to his left and grab it.
Yeah, that was good by Wade, although if the guy had really hit the top corner, just jumped it over.
Here's Kennan. Had so much space to work with, but has somehow managed to lose it. Now here goes Bainbridge. Lovely sidestepping tackle by Avery McLean to win it back. Now Tegenfeld-Foman into Kampmeyer, who tries to give it back to Tegenfeld-Foman. Clearance blocked by Tegenfeld-Foman, who can play it square into McLean. Instead, under pressure, goes backwards into Oscar Cobb-Migater. Well done by Phil Tegenfeld-Foman to maintain possession. Now Newcomb, back to McLean. Newcomb makes the run, and McLean thought he had a little more speed than he did.
Should have gone the other way.
He should have gone the other way. This one will roll all the way through to Harrington, who will wait for the pressure from Thompson before playing it out to McCallum. Now here's Shepard across for Magnus Hauge. A lot of players lining up against Vashon's back line for Bainbridge. Not a good touch by Treverton, picked up by Felix Cobb-Migater. McLean goes across to Keenan, who looks to loft it long towards the back post. Kampmeyer will take an interest here. He's up against LeBar, who does get there ahead of August Kampmeyer and then gets the wrong side of him. Kampmeyer slides in from behind. Thought he got the ball, but the referee will put his flag up, the assistant referee that is. Kampmeyer makes his case, but I actually think they might be calling the foul on LeBar from Kampmeyer before when he pushed LeBar in the back, but LeBar stayed on his feet.
Yeah.
Well, finally, we got Mason Haynes.
There you go.
Haynes coming back in for the last 6.5 minutes. Let's see if we can get some Mason magic here. We've still got a couple debating that free kick call with the referee. Not sure why. I mean, it's not that consequential of a free kick. It's literally right by the corner of Bainbridge's own 18-yard box.
Yeah, well, we're making a sub.
Yeah,
So-
substitution coming now. It's Kampmeyer replaced by Haynes. Sent long by Bainbridge. Into the path of Pyland, who's gotten there ahead of Miller with his head. Bruce Pyland trying to get it past Keenan, who does enough. Wade brought it down with his thigh because the last touch came off of Keenan. He doesn't know that he can only not pick it up. It's a direct pass back, but in the end, he did manage to clear it out for a Bainbridge throw. Here's Treverton into Horwitz, finding Pyland, who's a little bit deeper than he wants to be in possession. Bruce Pyland will send it all the way back to Orion LeBar. Now here's Hauge. Man, Wade's got to learn that rule. He could have just picked it up. Here goes Treverton, nudged from behind by Mason Haynes. And I think that probably is a free kick. This referee's been good.
Look at the guy in the back again.
Yep, 5 minutes to go. Right now it looks like Bainbridge the more likely to get a winner. But the referee just making sure they're taking that free kick from the right spot. It is 25 yards inside Vashon's half and all the way wide to the left. Lofted in by Bainbridge. Good ball. Flicked behind. Incredible defensive header by Cobb-Migater. But no, it wasn't off Cobb-Migater. They've given a goal kick until the referee steps in and says, yes, actually, that was a corner.
It went off Oscar.
Yeah, it did. The assistant just got that wrong. But great header by Cobb-Migater.
It was fantastic. Right behind him was Duggan, and that guy was coming in. So
I mean, every time one person on the back four makes a play, I'm thinking, oh, there's man of the match.
Yeah.
And then it keeps changing. Played in short this time by Bainbridge. Hauge tried to beat Haynes to it. He's on the ground. Still has the ball somehow. Not cleared away, but then the referee's blown for a free kick. It was a Vashon player who went down. Looks like Finn Kennan. Sent long by the Pirates. Over to Felix Cobb-Migater. He touches it in towards Haynes. So too much of the ball to Howlett. Now here's Treverton. Finding Hauge in midfield, turning away from Tegenfeld-Foman, trying to feed Pyland, who's got some pace, but not that much pace. And I'm not even sure that was Cruz Pyland. I think that was Shep Horwitz.
Yeah.
It'll be out for a goal kick.
It was not a bad idea. I think he should have taken a little bit farther because he had Vashon dropping back.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Keenan sends it long. Header flicked on by Tegenfeld-Foman. Newcomb's close to it, but it'll be touched back by McCallum to Harrington. Now here's Hauge trying to get away from Thompson. Can't do so. Thompson got himself in between Hauge and the ball, and it will be a free kick for Vashon in an interesting spot. So this is 25 yards inside the Bainbridge defensive half. But no, it's not a free kick for Vashon. It's a free kick for Bainbridge.
Yeah, he called it the other way.
For what, though?
Well, it was
diving.
It was kind of. No, I think we were kind of. It was a. Now the assistant referee has walked onto the field. This is like the second time that this has happened now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to explain. He may have seen something.
He must have seen something. I actually thought that was a free kick for Vashon. I thought Thompson got in between Hauge and the ball, felt contact, and went down.
But it could have. I mean, we can't see both sides of him. He could have reached out, grabbed him, pulled him back.
Free kick will, well, as I said, it was 25 yards inside the Bainbridge half and pretty much dead center.
Yeah.
Harrington takes it short over on the near side. Here's Brody McCallum.
Calling for number 9. Oh,
Sent long by McCallum. Wade gets there.
what command of the penalty area?
I mean, Wade could be man of the match.
We're really close.
It's that back five. It's that back five. Honestly, I might say Cobb Migater just because of that goal. But I feel bad not giving it to Felix, Caden, Marshall, or Gavin. They've all been excellent.
Well, you know, the emphasis this game, like I said, is team defense. I think Marshall came out of the penalty area.
Really?
Yep, handball.
Well, that's what they've given.
Yep.
I did not think he did.
He was awfully close. He came out. I mean, he's really pushing the boundaries of cutting off these balls.
Well, this will be interesting. So now the referee's got to get this right because where they're putting the free kick is well ahead of the line of the 18-yard box. Not well ahead, but a yard.
Well,
so that doesn't
caught it.
No, he wasn't that far out.
Well, something. Now, the other thing that could have happened, one of our defenders shielded a guy off, and so that Marshall could get the ball.
That's an opportunity. So this is an excellent chance. We got a minute 22 to go. A goal here would win it. I think that's Pyland standing over. We got 6 in the wall for Vashon, but this is just position A1 for Cruz Pyland.
I think he should curl it to our left.
Pyland to win it, drives it towards the near post and sends it high and wide. He wanted that near top corner and couldn't direct it.
That wasn't a great kick.
I don't know who's on the scoreboard, but they're really sleeping on the job. You're supposed to stop it in 2 minutes. Right now, it's sitting at 57 seconds. Haynes now can run the other way. It's a 1v3, but he's managed to get it taken Bowman somehow. He swings it wide for Newcomb. Heavy first touch, but he's able to come onto it. Isaac Newcomb cuts inside, tries to go for the near post again, and once more there's Harrington. I mean, it wasn't much of a save to speak of. Harrington with a weird half volley. I don't think that was intentional. Picked up in midfield by Kennan. Now here's Gavin Keenan, who does the smart thing, plays it safe and sends it long. Second ball won in midfield by Thompson, but he's knocked it off the thigh of Avery McLean. Now down the right-hand side, or wanting to go down the right-hand side, were Bainbridge and Pyland, but that was not a good pass by Nika Troyan. The Pirates will have a throw-in.
I think he was off anyway. Our team saw the play.
He did look off. He did look off.
It wasn't an accident, though. We did it on purpose.
Throw-in sent long by Keenan. Tegenfeld-Bowman flicks it airborne. Cleared away by LeBar, but Tegenfeld-Bowman plays it back into Newcomb, who was onside. Once again, there's Tegenfeld-Bowman. McLean flicked it on. Thompson. Couple of step overs. Let's see what he's going to do. Now he has his back to the defense and just spent too much time on the ball. Bainbridge can go the other way. They've got movement down the left-hand side. It's Howard Howlett trying to flick it in the direction of Cruz Pyland, who couldn't get there. Miller shielded it out for a throw-in. And I think their game plan is literally just kick it up to Cruz.
Yeah,
that's what the coach.
Well, we talked about why Mason may have been taken out. He's taken out. He may be that kind of same thing for us. You know, we're like, get it to Mason, get it to Mason. And everybody just thinks we got to get it to Mason as opposed to playing something that may be a better decision.
Pyland flicks it on over the box here, Bainbridge. Going away from Keenan. Did he keep it in? What is it going? It's not cleared. Finally cleared off the line by Vashon. Incredible. Bainbridge inches away from winning it, but Vashon aren't out of the woods yet. Here comes Troyan. Into Pyland, just inside of the 18-yard box. Don't foul him, Keenan. Pyland plays it across the face of goal. There's Miller to touch it behind for a corner. Wow, heart in mouth for Vashon supporters. This very well could be the last kick of the game. Bainbridge have a corner.
And they're throwing everybody up, but not Mason. Mason's back.
No, Mason is back for a potential counterattack. I'm not sure we'll have the time.
Well, there were some injuries. And their corner kicks have been pretty good, by the way.
This will be Will Treverton to send it in for Bainbridge. Treverton, good corner kick, towards the back post and in. Bainbridge have won it. Incredible. It is Orion LeBar who gets the winner for Bainbridge. And it was coming with all those great corners they were playing.
You know, that was like a shot. It didn't go, I don't think it went over 6 feet high, but it found somebody who was running in. It was just redirected in.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you send those in swingers.
Yes, you got to hit them, and you got to hit them hard. You know, with a goalkeeper like we've got, who's been fantastic today, going up and getting those high balls is easy for him, but you can't get a ball that's driven like that. That was unfortunate.
It was unfortunate. Well, the referee will allow Vashon maybe one more attack as Keenan sends it long. Nobody really in the vicinity, though. It's with Magnus Hauge, pressured by Tegenfeld Bowman. Hauge sends that one away. Vashon have a throw in on the far side. As the referee will allow for a Bainbridge sub here. Throw in taken, or no, that wasn't. They were just launching it over to the area. Keenan steps up. Now they got to push people forward, I think.
Okay, here we go.
Long throw in by Keenan. Thompson flicks it on. The referee's got some sort of issue here.
Oops, did you touch that?
What?
Okay, sorry.
No, I think we're okay.
Okay, can you hear it?
Referee, yeah, I can hear myself.
Good, there we go.
So the referee took issue. I don't think he was ready for the throw-in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Wrong throw in taken by Keenan. Newcomb flicks it. Or no, it is Newcomb on the ball. He went for the volley, did not catch it, sliced it, and it spun wide and out for a goal kick, and that might be that.
Well, let's see. What kind of injury? I think of the injury time we've had.
Felix Carmichael's been down a couple times.
Yeah. So we might have an extra 2 or 3 minutes.
Goal kick sent long by Harrington. Flicked forward by Pyland, only as far as Keenan. Good ball by Gavin Keenan, and they'll have to deal with this, and they do. Shepard does well. McLean wins the second header. Up for Tegenfeld Bowman on the volley. He got good contact, but not the direction. Harrington rolled to his right and claimed. And that's full time. Well, no, it isn't.
Nope.
What's the referee giving here?
Was it a pass? That wasn't a pass back. Oh, I know what happened.
What happened?
Goalkeeper saved it, had it in his hands, let it roll out, and
then
was wasting
it up.
time, and then picked it up. So he basically picked it up twice.
Wow. So crazy drama here. So what this will mean, correct me if I'm wrong, an indirect free kick, correct, from the 6-yard box essentially. So this is hard to score from because they just put everybody on the line and they'll charge us down.
But he made it easier. Actually, the goalkeeper was within a yard of the goal.
Mm-hmm.
He moved it back to give us. This is actually great for us.
Mm-hmm.
You have this. They'll come out to try and get it, but they can't cover 6 yards on one touch.
Well, we're not going to. You're going to have to hit it high.
I think we're just going to touch it. You don't have to roll it.
Yeah, you have to roll it. It's indirect. They literally all but one is on the line, and it's Cruz Pyland who's sitting inside the 18-yard box. Thompson and Tegenfeld Bowman are standing over this. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen here. It's insane. They built a literal wall on the goal line. I mean, here's the thing, right? If you go low, they can touch it with their feet. You have to go high because they can't go up with their hands, and if you hit it hard enough, they want time to reach it with their head. So, Tegenfeld Bowman with a little bit of a feint. Feints again. Flicks it back. Thompson blocked. Yeah, they got off the line quick enough.
Yeah, they kept running.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to get a better chance.
Sent back in by Keenan. Flipped on by Tegenfeld Bowman, who was offside.
Boy, we have made a game of this.
Yeah.
I mean,
what a game. What a game this is. I mean, and you know what? We're probably going to lose, right? But we played really well, especially in that second half.
I don't know if I want to say we're going to lose yet. We could have just tied it up.
We could have just tied it up, although we really are on borrowed time right now.
Yeah. Well, it was a bit of a gift for the referee to give us that. A lot of referees would have said, that game's over.
Yeah. Sent long by Harrington, and that is full time. Well, it was the game that it promised to be. In the end, 2A does beat 1A, as is expected. But what a game. Two sides at the peak of their powers going at it, and this could have gone either way.
It was a war. Both teams just wanted to win.
Mm-hmm. But Bainbridge are a real good side.
They're pretty good. I'm not going to go with I don't know if they're the best in the state. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I don't think so. But they might be the best in 2A.
Yeah, they might be. They might be.
Yep.
Well, we'll have to follow them in the state tournament. We're going to follow us,
obviously. But we'll keep an eye on Bainbridge. We'll see how that goes. I mean, it really was a great game. And again, I spoke about this before. The back line has to step up for Vashon. And I mean, come on.
Yeah,
they did.
We're talking about player of the game. So what do you got?
You know what? I think it could have been any of the back four, and it could be Marshall Wade. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Caden Miller. He impressed me the most out of all of our defenders.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm going to do something that I can't help myself. I'm going to go, even though we lost 2-1, I'm going with entire team defense mentality.
Yeah.
All 11 players on the field, nobody gave up anything.
Yeah.
Everybody fought as if it was the championship of the world. It's just a practice game, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not the state final.
No. And this won't hurt our RPI at all.
It has nothing to do with RPI at this point.
No.
I mean, we did fine. And I just like the mentality that we went into this game. It was like, we are giving nothing. And the stuff they did was basically, the breakaway was a good breakaway. It's a super fast guy. And that corner kick was unfortunate because we had really done a good job.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'd go with the whole team.
Yeah. Hopefully we come out of this with a positive mentality. We don't let it dog on us too much that we lost. Well, I think we're going to have to run for it very unfortunately. I love to keep talking about this game forever, but Vashon have one last regular season game. It's Tuesday, 5:45 varsity kickoff. That's senior night against Seattle Christian. We're going to be calling it, but if you're on island, come out, support the seniors, obviously. After that, it's on to districts, and after that, it's on to state. With a final thank you to Dan Schuler back in the studio on the other island for making everything possible. Thank you to Vashon Thrift Trade for underwriting all things Vashon Sports. Thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM. Voice of Vashon or voiceofvashon.org, and we leave you from Bainbridge High School Memorial Stadium with the final score. The Vashon Island Pirates 1, the Bainbridge Spartans 2.
He's a fool, and don't I